What is good, chat? How are we doing today? Welcome to another show, all right? Because today we're going to be breaking down a few things, all right? Because it seems as though you tater tots cannot understand facts and evidence, okay? And the more I keep doing this, chat, I'm starting to realize something, okay? The guys who claim to be the party of truth actually don't understand research and they don't understand nuances of things. What I'm starting to now realize that a lot of these guys who are, on the right and they're on this whole red pill grift and funnel, whatever you want to call it, right? They don't know what's going on. They really don't. What they tend to do is take things at face value, no matter how basic they are, as long as it's coming from their leader, their cult leader, right? Whether it's one of these podcast bros over here like Myron and Fresh and Fit, or Andrew Tate himself, right? As long as it seems as though they sound like they're speaking facts, they're automatically just going to jump aboard what they're doing without doing any kind of research. Now, here's where it gets a little bit scarier, all right? It's one thing where you have an uneducated masses who would just guzzle down whatever conspiracy or whatever talking points that fits their narratives. It's another thing to be a platform that supports that, like platforms like we've seen Tucker Carlson and most importantly, the other one, Candace Owens and Patrick David, some of these right-wing hacks that are peddling these kind of misinformation out there that a lot of these boys and tater tots are guzzling up. I mean, it's another thing for these guys to actually get the information wrong. And what's worse is not only do they get the information wrong, okay, they don't even bother to educate their audience by doing the right research. Matter of fact, it's just to them, as long as their team is winning, that's all they care about, right? Like for instance, we got Candace Owens over here, all right? For an example, she's sitting there talking about how, someone like Adam 22 who offers up his girlfriend to, or not his girlfriend, his wife to Andrew Tate. She says that's disgusting behavior. And, if she, truly lives by the Christian tenets and, obviously they don't like that stuff, that's adultery and, offering up your wife, that's crazy, right? So she's got a point, but you got to look at who she's interviewing, right? She's interviewing a guy called Andrew Tate who ran a webcam business that promoted pornography, right? And his brother Tristan, he actually knew that he was peddling that pornography because Tristan started that whole agency. But to make it worse, Tristan's own mother of his child, okay, his baby moms, as you like to say, his baby moms is also working on said site, okay, that promotes pornography to young men. So while Candace Owens is conveniently making an excuse for Andrew Tate, his brother literally is the biggest cuck out there. So if it's a degenerate behavior for someone like Adam to offer up his girl to Andrew Tate, right? Wouldn't you call it equally deplorable that Tristan Tate, till this day, still has his own baby moms working and earning for him on webcam? She's showing her body to the world. But are the Tater Tots going to say anything about it? No, because it doesn't fit the narrative of, yeah, we're good conservative guys and, you know, we lead conservative values. This guy has his baby moms. He has his own baby moms literally earning online. But if Candace did her research, she would know that, and she would know that that line of questioning she was asking Andrew Tate, she would know that was BS. Oh, y'all don't believe me. Oh, let me actually play that. I think I got that clip somewhere. Somebody sent that to me. Shout out to you. And Doc Chauncey for the $5 super chat while I pull this up. He says, what are the chances these media platforms, Candace, Tucker, etc., are being paid by the Tates for favorable coverage? Oh, hands down. Hands down, maybe not monetarily speaking, but definitely in clout, right? Because what is the more digging you do into Candace Owens, you start to find out that she's actually had a relationship with the Tate brothers a long time before this controversy came out. This controversy is basically a situation for her to kind of, cape for her boys, right? That's just what it is, right? She wants to sit there and cape for her boys and make sure that like a lot of this stuff goes around smoothly, but it's not the case. Let me play this video in question real quick, chat.
Head from a health school, like from health education, where they would say pornography is healthy. People should watch pornography. People should engage in pornography. It's okay if you're in a relationship for you to watch pornography. And then I had a huge wake up call when I spoke to Tim Ballard. He runs Operation Underground. And then I realized how closely pornography is related to human sex trafficking.
Real sex trafficking, not TikTok
real sex
accounts.
Trafficking. And yeah, we should talk about that because they are kind of stretching the definition of sex trafficking. In your case, I've taken a look at it. And what's remarkable to me is the amount of young men, and I would say from the ages of 18 to 35, that write in and say how much they're struggling with porn, how much they're struggling with pornography addiction, how they feel that no person is talking about the ills of pornography. Yeah. And so I just watched this clip of you this morning, sitting next to Adam 22. You were very polite. I'm not going to be so polite. I thought he was an absolute degenerate. And I mean that. The idea of having a woman making the vows that you make in marriage and literally offering her body as he did to you was a form of degeneracy.
Old brother Tristan had already been managing webcam girls through an agency called Talus Management, a play off of Tristan's kickboxing nickname, Tate the Talisman. Talus Management still has a Twitter profile, showing everyone the various models that lonely incels could buy subscriptions to on OnlyFans. That lineup of models includes the mother of Tristan Tate's daughter, going by the moniker Abigail Tyson with...
Wow! You can't make this shit up. Buddy got his own baby mama being pimped right now on OnlyFans, showing her body to the world. Yet Adam's a degenerate one. Okay. Okay, Candace. Okay, Candace. Okay.
Free ends. The fact that she is still active in this online profile game while raising Tristan's daughter tells you loads about...
Look at all them TikTok accounts. look at all them TikTok followers. How many of these young boys got to see Tristan baby mama naked? That's crazy. Hey, Tristan. Oh, we good conservative men. We could pay some money right now to see a naked wife or a girl or the mother of your child. But Candace, Candace just misses this. No, fuck this fact. No. Other people who are offering their wives up and their girlfriends up, all right, that we don't like on the other side, that's degeneracy, all right? But if it's on our team, no, we just kind of hide it away. You see, this is what I'm saying. A lot of these Andrew Tates and Tater Tot, y'all are, listen, y'all are the real cucks. The fact that y'all be okay with this, all right, but conveniently brush off everyone else, that's insane. Like, y'all don't even know how to keep it consistent at this point, bro. I don't see nobody else getting on Tristan about pimping out the mother of his child. I can't see anything lower than pimping out the mother of your child. But apparently, Candace Owens, when it comes to Adam 22, that's a different story, right? Let's keep playing. There's a little bit left. I just want this clip to play.
About the kind of man that Tristan Tate is not.
I had to downgrade one of the mothers of my kids from the house she was living in. I needed her to understand that you do not fuck with me. And she was living in a 4-bedroom rented house, and I was paying the rent and all the bills, and I pay everything. I said, okay, you know what? You want to fuck with me in that way? That's cool. You have 30 days to get out of that house. Here's your new apartment, 2 bedrooms. Well, what do you mean? Now your child doesn't have a garden to play in. Well, that's your fault. That is not my fault. Take her to the fucking park. I don't take shit. So it's never going to get to that level where they think, oh, well, let me call the U.S. Embassy, and because he's a citizen, maybe I can, because they know the consequence. It's not going to turn out good for them. Or
Chat, remember when we reacted to this piece? I think, what's his name? Willie Mack had this on the show, right? He featured this part of the show. And it was just this clip. And he was talking about one of the girls and whatnot. But we had no idea that the woman he was downgrading was actually still being pimped actively on TikTok by the Tates, right? We just thought, okay, it was one of his baby moms that he put up in an apartment somewhere, and it is what it is. No, this is why he's mentioning situation about his baby mama not going to the embassy, because he got her in the same situation where she's selling her body literally to millions of young men out there. While these guys, and her profile's still active, while these guys have the balls to come up here and say, well, you know what, the Tates, you guys stand against prostitution. You guys stand against pornography. How? His own baby mama is being pimped on OnlyFans. I don't get what you tater tots can't even understand about this, because I don't know what this is. Super cuck behavior, bro. I don't care, dog. I don't give a fuck if she's making you money, if she's making the clown hood money. The fact that I can go through her TikTok account right now and then go watch her be naked, knowing fully well she's got your kid. You're a fucking degenerate if someone like Adam 22 offering his wife up to your brother is a degenerate. Do you see what I mean about the hypocrisy with a lot of these guys on the right? And this is one thing that realistically, y'all keep this up, you're going to turn a lot of people away from the right, and a lot of people are just going to becoming more independent, right? Hopefully they can start thinking for themselves, because what right-wing media has proven, especially the ones who are seriously backing Andrew Tate, they've proven that they don't understand research, and on top of that, they would always play for their team as long as it benefits them financially or through viewerships. You guys have to understand the clear difference. The people they're propping up as symbols of conservative excellence are degenerate, gambling, freaking drug-dealing scumbags that pimp out the own mother of their children. That's why they love living in clans than promoting traditional traditional values between men and women. Yet Candace Owens, a supposed Christian, my God, just embarrasses herself. But it's what actually the truth is, Candace Owens and the Tate brothers, they've been connected for a long time. Back when the Tate was on his rise with the whole Make America Great Again and, Trump and everything, because they were still equating Tate to Trump. I mean, they're still doing that now, but it's not to the same extent. What you're seeing is basically a lot of these guys come in full force because they're hoping that if this Andrew Tate thing becomes something where he's innocent, this will be their champion for the right, their free speech champion right there. Because realistically, what the right has been dealing with is the whole anti-free speech saga, right? The LGBTQ, the cancel culture, all that nonsense. And who else to parade in front of the people as part of your movement than someone like Andrew Tate, who's been falsely accused? But obviously, we know he wasn't falsely accused because we have the evidence. We have the stuff that's against him. Now, one of the other situations that a lot of the tater tots are talking about that they don't actually understand, and Candace Owens actually made the ridiculous decision to actually use this as an excuse to cover for the Tates, were the lawsuits and the pending lawsuits that Andrew Tate had against one of the accusers that his fanboys are saying basically fabricated a lot of things. Now, when you ask some of these tater tots deeply, and I had conversations with some of them, right, they actually don't know the details of what happened. What they would tell you is somewhere along the lines of, oh yeah, she has a long history of falsely accusing people, and one of them died. Yeah, one of them died because they were falsely accused, and that's why you can't trust this girl. Now, here's a couple things. We're actually going to dive into it because on this channel we like to do the research, okay? And we're not taking sides or anything like that. Realistically, I'm just giving you the facts straight, and we're going to read into the same documents Candace Owens is about to read into before we play it. But I think it's important to listen to how she spins the narrative versus what the facts actually are. And realistically, once you find out what the facts actually are, you find it highly disgusting that someone like Andrew Tate realistically is going the route that he's going with with that girl, all right? Because there's a lot of moving parts here, and we have to cover it, right? So let me get through the super chat. A lady, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. A lady says, Tate is fantasizing about pimping Candace. Listen, man, Candace, she's already pimping herself. She said, hey, listen, just sign me up. What else? Like, I mean, she's putting her reputation and her platform on the line for this. I want y'all to understand that. She's putting her reputation on the line for this, which I find ridiculous, right? These imbeciles, these glorified losers that have been rotting the minds of young men out there, somehow they're great according to these bozo conservatives. Shout out to you. Be Too Cool with the $10 super chat. Be Too Cool says, yo, what's up, dude? Supposedly Candace Owens made a video after all the backlash saying she looked into all the evidence and there's still chances of Tate being innocent. That's actually what we're going to play right now. We're going to play that right now because she didn't look into anything. All right. Matter of fact, let me give you guys the backstory of this. Okay. I got to give you guys the backstory because she did not look into anything. So essentially what she did was, it's not freeing the Tates from anything. The backstory she actually looked into was this incident that Andrew Tate has with the active lawsuit against this lady named Emma Gabby. Now, Emma Gabby is the woman who is alleged to have falsely accused the Tates. All right. Now, here's the thing. Has she put out, done things out, like put out lies out there to other men and whatnot? Yes. Okay, that's absolutely true. And we're actually going to break that down, right? But was she responsible for a guy taking his own life? No. Did she put out lies about the guy that took out his own life and that was the reason he took his own life? No, that wasn't actually true. Did she lie about her age when she was dealing with not Andrew Tate? Did she lie about her age when she was dealing with the guy she has an active lawsuit with right now? Yes. Where did that dude find her? Okay, Cupid. All right. So he found her on a dating site or some of these other sugar baby site, right? Because he's a software engineer that was looking for a sugar baby. Ran into this lady, all right, and she had all the problems and whatnot. And the reasons why she had all the problems because she was actually a victim of sexual abuse when she was 15, all right. And even around the time she was 15, she had a bunch of different problems going throughout her life, right? She ran away from home a couple of times too. Like all this happened during that age where she was basically getting raped by one of the instructors. Now that guy who actually is guilty of raping her, right, while she was underage, that actually happened. Now, who do you think someone like Andrew Tate is citing as evidence for Gabby lying? The same guy that actually is guilty of abusing the girl and that Kenneth dude, right? So it's honestly just crazy the way like they're trying to like dive into this and make it seem like, oh, it's just all one-sided. No. It's not the case at all, and we're about to break that down more. But essentially what Candace Owens is doing is she's using that particular scenario to basically say, no, everything else that Tate did, including the women in Romania and all that stuff, that's all lies. Oh, by the way, that Emma Gabby girl, guess where she was found? In Tate's mansion. She was actually found in Tate's mansion. Now, as a matter of fact, there's an article out there. It was a Ukrainian article with the Dykot. When they raided the compound, she was among one of the two ladies that they found, right? That's why, all these allegations are coming about being held against her will and whatnot. Okay, Emma Gabby is one of two women they found in her home. So what the right is doing, they're trying to make it seem like Emma Gabby, right, she was lying to the Tates and all this stuff never happened. Now, has she lied about other scenarios about her in the past? Yeah, absolutely, right? Was she lying about going to the Tate mansion? No, she was there. Was she lying about being invited to the Tate mansion? No, she was. There was a clear invitation there. Tate actually invited her to the mansion. Now, are we clear about her being held against her will at the mansion or whatnot? That's where the evidence needs to be proved. Was she actually held against her will? And they're going to find the evidence to prove or disprove that. But the fact that these right-wing people are trying to make it seem as though that she's lying about ever going to Tate's or being invited to the Tate's or having anything to do with the Tate, and that's why the Tate's suing her. No, it's not. And if you look at the case, it's a defamation lawsuit. Think about how hard it is for Tate to even win that in America, while he's got a Romania case to file right now. So realistically, this defamation lawsuit he's filing against this girl is likely just a scare tactic to keep whatever, because mind you, she's one of the girls they found in Romania. So it's likely a scare tactic to keep her hush hush, right? So that's why he feels confident going about and filing these lawsuits, because this girl actually has a track record of doing crazy things in the past. And that's just, it's weird that Candace Owens is using all of this and whatnot without actually breaking down the details of what happened. She was actually abused when she was 15. Like, that's crazy how everyone's trying to make it seem like that was a lie. Like, she was abused when she was 15, and it was wild. And that led to some wild decisions that she ended up making throughout her life by ending up in all these dating sites and freaking, what do you call it? Lying about her age and trying to date all these older guys, right? So let's go ahead and play Candace Owens's breakdown of it, and then we'll get right into it, because I guess when the Tater Tots understand the full context, they'll realize that this Gabby, this is not the battle y'all want to die on. I'm gonna just be honest with you. This is not the hill y'all want to die on. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Let me see. He says she I already read that, so let's go ahead and pull this up real quick, chat. Let me know if you can hear the audio, but we gotta get to this, right? This is Candace Owens' investigations, quote unquote, of the alleged Tate victims.
That the American embassy had contacted local police with a report that a 21-year-old American woman named Emma Gabby was being held captive at an address in Voluntari. Okay, that's very interesting. So that begs the question, who is Emma Gabby? Okay, the charges have shifted. There's many names in this document, but it all begins with Emma Gabby and these charges that she was being held against her will by the Tate brothers, which is horrific, by the way. Now, it makes sense. If the U.S. embassy got contacted and they then contacted Romanian authorities, you can see why this was a very big case, which is why I believe the U.S. embassy did nothing wrong here, nor do I believe that the Romanian authorities necessarily did anything wrong. Could you imagine being Romanian authorities? Big bad America is on the line, and we're telling you that there is an American victim that is being held captive against her will by somebody that is living in Bucharest, Romania. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. So who is Emma Gabby? First, I'll tell you who she is, according to the Tate brothers, who is suing her.
So think about this. This is the ridiculousness. No research on who Emma Gabby is. The only research she's doing is according to the defamation lawsuit the Tate brothers are filing. So think about that. That's like, okay, you want to do a fair balance research, right? So to get your research on the person who's the victim here, you're looking at the accuser's complaint report. Tell me how well researched is that? So you're looking at the potential accused individual's complaint to learn about the victim situation. You didn't bother doing a holistic research regarding the victim situation, because she would have easily pulled up the other stats that I pulled up, right? Including the Kenneth guy, the other Kenneth guy that they're in current battles with right now to get the full story. No. Where she's getting the facts about the victim from is from Andrew Tate's defamation lawsuit complaint. Let that sink in. And you tell me if this is some kind of journalism. Okay, because to me, that's wait a minute, that's not fair. Wait, so you're reading the accused criminal complaint. That's insane. Like that's basically saying, hey, listen, between who's guilty, I'm gonna go with the guy who's potentially guilty, and I'm gonna go read his complaint against the victim. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Meanwhile, there are numerous articles that have confirmed that this girl was found in the Tate mansion. Right, she was there. There are numerous articles, and we're going to play this after Candace Owens' dumb tape. But she was in that mansion. So that's the one thing Tate cannot deny. Now, whether or not she was actually forcefully held against the will, that's something they would have to prove. But right now, this lawsuit that has to go in Florida literally has nothing to do with if she was held against her will. And she's about to read it. It's actually ridiculous that Candace is doing this. B2Cool, shout out to you for $5 super chat. B2Cool says, I'm convinced that Candace is officially a part of Tate's massive propaganda generating team, and she needs to be dragged for it. Fact, she is getting dragged. That's why she keeps coming out and doing these follow-up videos, because a lot of people on Twitter are telling her, you're ridiculous, right? How dare you do this? So she dropped this video basically investigating Andrew Tate's victims, but she's just reading Andrew Tate's defamation lawsuit against the victim. That she's using that as some kind of evidence. Like look at this dummy. Like, she's so stupid. Like, where the fuck did you get off, Candace? Like, let's just be honest. And this honestly pisses me off, because you could tell this woman has went after so many other media personalities, calling them fake and all these different things, right? Like a fucking attack dog. And look at her. Look at the level of research we get from Candace Owens. Let's just read. It's insane, B2 Cool. She's getting dragged for it. She knows it. Listen, for as long as she keeps backing the Tates, the moment they get found guilty, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. All of this shit's just gonna start cascading down, and eventually a lot of people who are on the right, who aren't on the far right, they're gonna start saying, yeah, Candace, actually, we never actually really liked you, because that's the truth. Most people on the right don't really like Candace. They just like her because she says what they like. Make it make sense, right? She says everything they like, so they love Candace. But the moment Candace deviates from the talking points, all of a sudden, she's done. It's the same thing with Ben Shapiro, right? That's why Ben Shapiro, if you listen to him, when it comes to certain things, he's pussyfooting around because he doesn't like Trump. Ben Shapiro is not a Trump fan, and some of his audience knows it, right? But the reason they're not getting on Ben Shapiro, because if anything, Ben Shapiro would much rather go with Ron DeSantis than Trump, right? But a lot of people who follow Ben Shapiro are a bunch of Trumpsters. They love Trump, okay? Everything Trump. So they will get on Ben Shapiro the moment he gets off the talking points. That's why he's always walking the line and whatnot, because Ben Shapiro is scared of the audience he created, right? And this is what happens when you flirt with the far right, especially when you start going down these conspiracy rabbit hole with COVID. He's facing that right now with the whole COVID scenario, right? That's Ben Shapiro. They're all getting on for him. And not only that, he's Jewish. A lot of these far right people, they don't tolerate Jews, which is insane, right? But I'm telling you, the moment Ben Shapiro stops towing the line, the moment Candace Owens stops towing the line, a lot of these people on the right, their so-called fans, they will turn on them so fast, it'll make your head spin, right? It'll make your head spin. Come on, guys. Let's just be real. Let's continue.
In Palm Beach County, Florida. According to them, again, if you want to take their word for it, Emma Gabby is a predator who has...
She says, if we wanted to take their word for it, while she's taking their word for it, that's essentially what she's doing, right? Who is Emma Gabby? Well, according to the criminal complaint the Tates are filing against Emma Gabby, this is who she is. What? Oh, let's prep the audience. And a lot of her fans are going to miss that part, right? Well, if you choose to believe the Tates, let's go. No, the audience don't hear that part. To them, they're being read a legal document, so it must be true that Emma Gabby is the scumbag that lied about going to Romania, right? That's not true. That's not true at all, okay? She's just reading the criminal complaint from the Tates, right? So I guess you guys can choose to believe what the Tates are saying about Emma, but in a minute, we'll find out the real truth. Let's continue.
First, I'll tell you who she is, according to the Tate brothers, who is suing her in Palm Beach County, Florida. According to them, again, if you want to take their word for it, Emma Gabby is a predator who has a long history of baiting men into sexual relationships for the specific purpose of destroying their lives. She has a chain of victims going back several years to when she was a minor. Her modus operandi is as follows. She devises sophisticated narratives to elicit compassion and sexual attraction from unsuspecting men. She uses these men as hosts, taking what she wants for personal, emotional, and economic gain. At some point, she begins to exert control through intentional infliction of emotional distress, causing injury to the host. If her efforts to control do not produce an immediate return on her investment, she revokes consent for prior sexual acts and threatens to have her host arrested for rape unless her demands are met.
So this right here, the part that she's reading, never actually happened to Andrew Tate. She's actually reading of another active complaint that Gabby has against the guy that she actually lied to about her age, named Kenneth something. Let me actually pull that up right now. Guys, we got it all right here. We got it all right here. Don't worry about it. It's all right here, right? So this is exactly what Candace Owens is reading, all right? It's against a guy named Kenneth Marlin Fisher. Okay, that's the guy, the case number and whatnot. It's all right here. All right, this is the guy she essentially got into a relationship with through like dating online. Now, where Emma went wrong, and there's no excuse for this, is as a minor at the time on those websites, she lied about her age, right? So she was underage at the time, but she chose to lie about it, right? So that went on for God knows how long, and the guy eventually found out because Emma was being inconsistent. So when the guy found out, Kenneth, he wanted to go ahead and air it out, which is a good thing, right? You want to make sure that any minor out here that's going on adult sites to meet adults, you want to make sure that's called out. So bravo on Kenneth for actually sticking to his guns and doing that, because Emma was wrong, absolutely wrong. Do stuff like this happen all the time? Absolutely. That's why y'all got to be careful with these sugar baby sites and sugar mommy sites, because a lot of these women who are disenfranchised and come from fucked up scenarios like this young woman had, they will take advantage of those sites. It's clear as day. And this happens to men all over the place, all right? So Kenneth did the right thing for trying to out Emma. Now, what was going on between the two, and we're going to scroll down to the back and forth here in just a second, right? What went on between the two is that Emma got mad at Kenneth because Kenneth was threatening to expose her for being a minor, right? So Emma took that as blackmail and said, well, if you're going to expose me as being a minor, well, essentially, I'm just going to let the world know that you and I have been having sex, which, again, it's not a lie because she did have sex with that guy, but she lied about the age of consent, right? Her not age of consent. She lied about her age while doing it. And while they were having sex, she was into some crazy shit. Like apparently she was into like butt plugs and, you know, BDSM type shit, right? You can see how she makes her way over to the Tates because they're really into that BDSM shit. But apparently they had all types of sex, right? The choking and the BDSM, and she kind of let all of that be known on social media. And then people kind of caught wind of this. So Kenneth, in an attempt to save his reputation, basically filed this defamation lawsuit. Okay. This is the same defamation lawsuit that Andrew Tate is using as an example to try to claim that Emma Gabby is falsely accusing him. No. What Candace Owens right now is reading out is not a scenario with Emma Gabby falsely accusing Andrew Tate directly. No, she's reading off Andrew Tate referencing this scenario, which I just broke down for you guys, right? But does that mean that Emma, because in that complaint that Andrew Tate put out, oh, she's been engaging in deceptive behavior since she was a minor, right? No. When she was a minor, she was actually raped, right? She was actually raped. I'm gonna pull up the thing right now. She was actually raped by a yoga instructor, right, while she was 15, right? And the dude went to jail. It's all out there. The files are all out there. So she wasn't lying about that. It's just that Emma at the time didn't want the Kenneth guy she was dating to out her age, her real age, while the case with that actual rapist was going on. All right, so that's why she was so defensive about it. But let me play Candace Owens's video real quick, some more, so you can get proper context, and then we're gonna get into Emma Gabby's situation.
She is a serial extortionist and blackmailer who preys on successful men. On multiple occasions, she has accused innocent men of horrific crimes, resulting in their unjust incarceration and damage to their professional and business reputations. Andrew and Tristan Tate are the latest victims in her trail of terror and destruction that has negatively affected the lives of dozens of men and women, all with disastrous consequences. Okay, so that is very interesting. It's not often that you hear something like that regarding a woman. In the era of Me Too in America, there's men, and we got all these allegations and against men, and women step up and they say, I was sexually assaulted, and he's a serial rapist, and things of that nature. But here, what they're essentially saying is that you have a woman who is doing this to men, who is extorting them for money, who is using them, and who is putting them in compromising positions. So I thought this is an easy thing for me to actually research, to really get behind whether or not this is all nonsense, whether or not the Tate brothers are calling this the Matrix, and when in fact they actually have a real victim here who suffered. A victim who I want to say, I welcome. Emma Gabby, if you hear this, and I know that you have a lawyer, if you would like to sit on the show and detail what happened to you, I will give you a platform. And I mean that, okay?
Emma, do not do it. This is a trap. Do not fucking do it. Because right here is the setup. She's saying doing her research. The only research she did was reading Andrew Tate's complaint. That's hardly research at all. That's just reading the complaint of the person who's suing her. That's not research at all. And then inviting her on while she has an open case to further fuck her shit up. Nah, that's a trap. That's what she's doing. And she's, of course, gonna bully the fuck out of you. That's not a joke. She's, of course, gonna bully the hell out of the girl. So it's actually a good thing, Emma, if you're reading this shit, to not do it, because it's just gonna be bad, right? Let me pull up this let me pull this up real quick. Let me go ahead and play a little bit more of this, and then we'll pull this up.
Okay. So I looked into Emma Gabby. I was wondering who she was, and here are some facts that you should know. Before she ever met a Tate brother, Emma Gabby was a sex worker. She had her own Pornhub account, and she could be contacted via a sex hotline. Again, that is before she ever met a Tate brother. She also had an OnlyFans account and a TikTok account before she ever met a Tate brother. She also was active on the website seekingarrangements.com, which if you guys are not familiar with seekingarrangements.com, it's essentially a sugar baby website. So it's young girls on the website. They look for men that are rich and have money. And the concept really, even though it's not explicitly stated on the website, we know what goes on, obviously, in those exchanges. Maybe the sugar daddy will pay for their rent, pay for their lifestyle. In exchange, obviously, we assume that on the back end, they are having sexual relations. So these are just the facts that I'm giving you about her. It's not to paint her in a derogatory way. It is just pertinent to know that, because there are many people that are walking around assuming that this was some innocent person that was trafficked over to Romania and then was forced to work against their will in the pornographic industry for which they knew nothing about. That is not the circumstance. It is relevant to this case to discuss her history before she ever met a Tate brother. But when you dig further, she's actually been involved in other cases as well. The first case involves a man who I am not going to name. And the only reason I'm not going to name him is because at the time of the allegations against him, Emma was in fact a minor. And that's—
Oh, whoa! Why don't you want to name his name? His name's Keith Fox. It's all over the news, right? So it's almost like when a girl at a young age starts to turn into stuff like prostitution and throwing herself online, where guys like Andrew Tate, who are predators, can find her. It's almost like shit have to go wrong in her life. Well, what happened in her life that turned a 15-year-old into someone who's going out and showing their bodies off, right? Well, it turns out she was actually assaulted. She was actually raped for years. But Candace, I'm not going to name the name. I'll name Emma Gabby for sure, the victim, but the guy who actually did it, I'm not going to name his name because she was a minor at the time. So why name his name, huh? A bunch of newspapers had no problem with that. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull this up. They had no problem with letting them know who exactly that predator was, right? And I think a lot of people should know that, right? But no, Candace Owens, when you want to talk about being being fair and being a journalist, that actually doesn't happen in Candace's world. So hold up, let me keep playing this.
That, of course, is relevant. So we just want to be ethical here and not expose his name so that people can look up the case because, as I said, she was underage at the time. Essentially, it was believed that she was having sexual relations.
Oh, she doesn't want to expose his name so people don't go looking up that case. You have no problem reading Andrew Tate's criminal complaint of another dude's situation about her, right? He ain't even talking about his own situation. He's talking about another dude's situation about her. But the crap that actually went on with her, you don't want to tell everyone else the dude's name so they can go look it up themselves. So essentially, we're only having one side of the story, really, right? I mean, that's essentially what Candace is showing you. So if she doesn't want to do that, well, I guess Dukendon has to kind of give you guys a little bit about what's going on, right? So this is the alleged guy they're saying that had relations with a 15-year-old girl, right? So Keith Fox is his name. 50-year-old or 58-year-old was arrested on Tuesday for allegedly having sex with a teen girl. Police said Fox, who is also known as Yoga Fox, started a relationship June 2016. The 15-year-old told police that she viewed Fox as a mentor. They had a father-daughter relationship. I wonder if getting groomed and raped by someone you considered a father figure in your life, I wonder if that's going to do some damages to your brain, at least to the brain of a young woman who isn't afforded the same opportunities like Candace Owens was over here. She also says, they also said she told cops he bought her things and said no one could love her the way he did. The girl also told police that he had sex with her on multiple occasions. Judge set bail at $100K on Thursday, and if he makes bail, he will be on house arrest, just like Andrew Tate. Birds of feather, right? Take a look at this. Look at this guy over here. Look at this ugly mug. All right, so 50-year-old high-profile yoga instructor was arrested on Tuesday after he was accused of engaging in a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old girl. Kenneth Stephen Fox, who was known as Yoga Fox by his fans, both at his Buddha Lounge yoga studio and at traveling festivals such as Wanderlust and Yoga Fest, allegedly started the sexual relationship in 2016. The Delray Beach Police Department got involved in the case after the teen's concerned murder hired a private investigator to look into Fox's interactions with her child. So we can't say the mom didn't try, right? Because I'm assuming she probably didn't have a father in the household. But mama definitely was on game. Mama said something's wrong. I don't like this grown-ass man doing what he's doing with my daughter, picking her up all the time, spending so much time with her. Let me hire a PI to see what's going on. So mama at least is trying to get some answers, right? So Delray Beach Police Department got involved in the case after the teen's concerned mother hired a private investigator to look into Fox's interactions with her child, according to the Palm Beach Post. Her mother hired the investigator when she noticed that Fox would pick her daughter up for lessons at all times of the day. Fox, who is a married man, has a child of his own, was found at his home along with the victim on at least one occasion by the private investigator. So the private investigator found and can witness the young girl, Gabby, right? Because now all of a sudden, Candace Owens doesn't want to say her name, right? She doesn't want to say the accuser's name, right? Or not the accuser's, the person, the rapist's name, right? She doesn't want to say his name. But the private investigator saw the young girl in this guy's house, okay? So clearly there's some shit going on. All right, according to Miami News Times, the 15-year-old told police during a July 2016 interview that she viewed the instructor as a mentor and that they had a father-daughter relationship. But she then told officers about a more predatory relationship. And there's the guy right over there. Delray, we can look at this. He looks like a sus dude, bro. This dude looks sus as fuck, dog. Look at this guy. So the article continues. According to the News Times, Fox would bring her things and talk badly of her parents, telling her that no one would love her the way he did. The teen told police that Fox asked if she had ever had an orgasm and offered a Thai massage. He then touched her vagina through her underwear and then without any clothing, according to the Times. Right? The girl told police that he had sex with her on multiple occasions, but she refused a rape exam. Last August, Fox submitted DNA sample, but declined to give a formal statement. So that's the guy, according to the Post. The age of sexual consent in Florida is 18. No one under the age of 16 can give consent under any circumstances. There's the guy right over there, right? So on Thursday, Judge Dina Kiva Arguima ordered that Fox be placed on house arrest if he makes bail that was set at $100,000. So usually it's about, you pay about 10% of that, right? So he needs to pay about 10 grand to get out. But he says the judge also said Fox is not allowed to have contact with anyone under age of 18 except for his own child. Now, he need to take his kid away too. What are we doing? His lawyer, Carrie Ditch, told Kiever that if Fox was placed on house arrest, it would make it impossible for him to earn a living from the adult members of his community who still support him through this. Kiva kept bail at $100,000. Fox is currently held at Palm Beach County Jail. So he's still in Florida right now, Palm Beach County, being held in jail. This was an ongoing case, right? Candace Owens doesn't want to say his name. I said his name because let's say they're tater tots in the chat. Y'all can go research this guy and understand that she was actually great. So when Andrew Tate is saying she's made up false allegations since she was a teenager, no. When she was a teenager, she got raped. And then a bunch of crazy actions from a rebellious teen who's just been groomed and raped numerous times by her someone she saw as a father figure. Yeah, it's to understand why that she was a runaway. It's understandable why that she seeks the attention and approval from grown men by faking her age on these other sites. You can actually see that, right? But the tater tots, they want to paint her as this monster that he just lies about everything. No, it wasn't all a lie. Okay, and actually, these guys went to her social media and whatnot, saying all these crazy things and whatnot. It was honestly just kind of just weird that a lot of you tater tots are getting invested in something that realistically shouldn't concern you. All right, unless you read the full stats, which Candace Owens doesn't want to provide you, you're not going to know what the hell's going on. All right, now what did Emma do wrong? Emma did wrong by lying about her age while she had an ongoing rape case with this Keith guy, right? So those are facts. That's true, all right? But did she lie about being at the Tate mansion? No, she was there. Matter of fact, Dicot found her during one of their raids in this article right over here, right? So we found this article. This is a Romanian article. Let me increase this so you guys can see this, right? So it says new searches in the case of the brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate. The two were accused of abducting some young women, right? So it said new searches in the case of the brothers, that's Andrew and Tristan, after they were accused of abducting young women. The searches are carried out in the file concerning the crimes of forming an organized crime group in rape. Andrew and Tristan Tate are to be picked up and taken to hearings at DICOT on Thursday, as judicial sources told G4 Media. Prosecutors suspect the two brothers of forming an organized criminal group with the aim of recruiting and exploiting girls to create pornographic videos intended for distribution for a fee on profile sites such as OnlyFans, which includes Tristan Tate's baby mama, if you want to see her naked. Just saying, Mr. Christian over there. The two are accused of obtaining large sums of money in this way. With the money obtained, they would have purchased houses, luxury cars, and cryptocurrencies. The file was opened in April. At the time, DICOT prosecutors investigated the case of a young woman from America seized in voluntary home of the Tate brothers. Now, this is Emma. This is Emma they're referencing to right now. They're basically saying she was seized in the home or the voluntary home of the Tate brothers. So she wasn't lying about being there. Even in the Tate's in the Tate's defamation complaint, all right, they admitted that they invited her out. The Tate brothers actually admitted they invited her out. So it's just crazy all of a sudden when DICOT did a random raid, right, after getting this tip off, we're saying, all right, we're going to come to your house. They broke into one of the houses, and they said, oh, well, look at this. We find the girls here, and this is one of the tip-offs that we got. So I guess we dropped in, right? Because you Tater Tots are saying it was random, right? Right? That all this stuff wasn't connected, right? So I guess in this random raid that these DICOT officers pulled, they were able to find the girl whose parents made the complaint to the American Embassy. Huh. Let's continue, though. How the Tate brothers reacted after the accusations, right? The law enforcement officers arrived at the villa of the two British brothers in the evening of April 11th. The police received a complaint according to which they kidnapped two girls. On April 11, 2022, the police I don't know how to say that, carried out a two-home search on two people suspected of committing the crime of illegal deprivation of liberty. It seems obscene to me, not moral. Cristiano Ronaldo and Georgiana Rodriguez harshly criticized after the last post. Is that the Cristiano Ronaldo? What the hell? Why is he criticizing Andrew Tate? That's crazy. He says, from the research, it emerged that a woman was allegedly held against her will in the building in the city of Voluntary. Andrew Tate later reacted and claimed at the time that none of this was true. Tristan and his brother said at the time it was revenge of people who don't care about them. He added that only girls in their home are cars. So right off the bat, when they found the girl in one of the Tate brothers' house, right, the same girl that Candace is victim shaming right now, the Tates right off the bat lied and said there were no kidnapped girls in our house. And it's like, wait a minute, how can y'all say that? Who are these people over here who didn't obviously want to be here? Like, who are they? Nah, the only girls in my house are cars. Those are only women in my house. So it's just like, okay, now you're lying. now you're both lying because there's clearly something to it, right? Instead, the mother of one of the young women, which was Emma, her mother, abducted by the two, said that they were going to send her daughter to prostitution. So the mother, and this is the same mother that hired the private investigator to investigate and uncovered that her daughter was dealing with, an older man. So mama definitely cares about daughter. You could clearly see that, right? Even though dad's not in the home, mama's there, right? So it seems as though mama basically can verify that she got some kind of information, whether it's from the Tates, all right, or maybe Georgiana or one of the people around them saying that they were going to sell her into prostitution. And the reason why I can kind of see this happening is because, well, part of the methods that the Tate brothers would use, and Willie Mack exposed this, is that they would go in and they would go to the girl's hometown and start spreading bad rumors about the girl. Right? So it makes the girl not want to go back to their house or their town or whatnot, because he's done this to other girls in Romania. So I won't be surprised in an attempt to try to keep the girl in Voluntary, the town that they found her at. They were probably trying to play the same game in Miami but didn't realize that Mama wasn't going for that, and Mama told the authorities because Mama's the one that called the embassy. Mama's the one that made the complaint. Mama doesn't play, so I mean, it is what it is. All right. So in the voluntary home of the Tate brothers, the police found Emma Gabby, a 21-year-old young woman. Right. The Tate brothers have had troubles with the law in the past. Andrew Tate was arrested for drug trafficking and murder. Whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, in 2020. So. And hold up, I don't know if this is like a misspeak because this is a Romanian article, but they said that they denied the allegation, stating that it was just some old and wrong information. So I don't know, dog. Trafficking and murder, that's crazy. Again, this might be them trying to link it. Okay, this is two things. Either you're trying to link it to the Romanian mob, or this is some kind of like mistranslation from Romanian, because you can translate this from Romanian to English and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got pressed in Romania for potential murder and drug trafficking, because Andrew Tate has admitted to be a drug trafficker in the past. So why are we surprised, right? So let's go into this real quick, and then we'll go into some other bullshit that these guys are lying about, right? So we look into the actual complaint, right? So this is the one between her and the guy she actually lied to, right? This is Kenneth Fisher. Let's actually go to the one with Andrew Tate, right? Because Candace Owens didn't want to read the full thing. So we got the full thing right here. We can read it. It's okay. We do a little bit of research. It's not going to hurt anybody. All right. So this is just the Tate just going in, right? So it says defendant Emma Gabby on the information belief is a resident of Palm Beach County, Florida, is an adult over the age of 18, otherwise sui juris. Defendant Mona Gabby and William Gabby on information and beliefs are the parents of defendant Emma Gabby. So her dad is in the picture, right? Both residing in Palm Beach County, Florida. Defendant William Gabby. Let me increase this so you guys can see this. All right. It says, actually, let's skip into jurisdiction and venue. So this complaint for damages, and this is from the Tates, in excess of $5 million per se, commercial defamation, false imprisonment, tortious relationship, civil conspiracy, intentional infliction of emotional distress. All right. This court has personal jurisdiction over defendants, and venue court has substantially all events relating to the causes of the action here in it doesn't the whole PDF, the word is kind of crazy over here. But anyways, so Tates are saying Gabby directed false statements to the state of Florida. With Gabby, those parties in turn made the additional defamation statements to the embassy. Upon information and belief, other third parties, Matthew Martelli directed the defamation statements to, and it cuts off right there, to Gabby and William Gabby and several other people and entities. This complaint for damages is brought within the 2-year statute of defamation under Florida statute, where it be libel or slander. The complaint brought with 4-year-old statute of limitation, torturous interference, intentional afflictions of emotional distress, negligent distress, and false imprisonment under Florida state statutes. All right, so these are the statement of facts. So this is what the Tate brothers are alleging, right? So Andrew Tate, 36, and Tristan Tate, 34, collectively, the brothers are a pair of British American boxers, entrepreneurs, and it cuts off right there, and international businessmen currently residing in Romania. The Tate brothers' international presence can be attributed to experiences that began in their youth, which had them frequently on the move in both the United States and the United Kingdom. The Tate brothers are a product of a multiracial family, and where Tate and African American change. So African American, see, it just cuts off right there at the edge. Y'all can see that. Hold on, maybe I should zoom out. Let me see if that helps. All right. Yeah, guys, I got to zoom out because it cuts off the whole thing. By the late Emery Tate, an African-American chess prodigy who became one of the most prolific and trailblazing chess player of his time. A white British mother who worked as a cook, or dinner lady, as it known in the United Kingdom. The Tate brothers deeply respect, appreciate, and admire personal sacrifice of their mother. So this is just factual information about their life, right? Tate is a former world champion kickboxer. We know that. So let's go into what they're alleging with this girl, right? So that's gonna be right down here. Hold up. So there it is right here. So right here it says Emma Gabby upon information and belief, right? So it's not anything that they can prove. It's just the information they got on her, right? Because what we know about the Tate is they found her in your mansion. That's a fact. Tate didn't put that in this at all. I read through it. It was not in there. She was in your mansion. That's facts. You don't want to admit that, but let's get into it, right? So Emma Gabby is a predator. This is Tate's words, right? Emma Gabby is a predator who has a long history of baiting men to sexual relationships. And mind you, we had all these, right? And this is where Candace Owens started reading from. So I want to give you guys context to just show how just crazy this woman is. She didn't show you but this is where she started reading from in her research to the victim here, right? So what is this here? It says she has a chain of victims going back several years to when she was a minor. Her modus operandi as follows. She devises sophisticated narratives to elicit compassion and sexual attraction from unsuspecting men. She uses these hosts, taking what she wants for personal and emotional and economic gain. At some point, she begins to exert control through intentional infliction of emotional distress, causing injury to the host. If her efforts to control do not produce an immediate return on her investment, she revokes consent for prior sexual acts and threatens to have her host arrested for rape unless her demands are met. Now, again, this isn't what the Romanian governments are alleging from Tate. This is just Tate saying this, right? Because this part has nothing to do with him. But he's trying to mix this in here to basically fuck up her character, all right? And again, she's not innocent in the stuff that she did, and we'll go over that in just a second. But it's just showing you the kind of tactics the Tates are using right now, which I think is crazy, right? So Emma Gabby repeats similar patterns with her suitors, casting herself as a vulnerable young victim with a heartbreaking backstory, one that had to overcome incredible odds such as an abusive, loveless childhood to win the sympathy of her next exploit, as observed with each case. Gabby prefers an elaborate narrative to elicit compassion from her victims, often emotionally susceptible, good-natured men who are connived by her sophisticated combination of natural beauty, touching backstory, musical talent, and charisma. A devastating combination for targets clueless that criminal activity is afoot. Huh? So this is what she looks like, by the way. Just a basic racially ambiguous woman, right? Even her social media ain't even nothing, right? So that's Emma right there that everybody's losing their shit over, right? That's her. That's the girl. And if you see the comments these tater tots put in her profile, it's absolutely fucking crazy, bro. But so they're saying she mastered, all that because she's using beauty and all that charm and whatnot, right? So the demure damsel in distress transforms into a controlling, aggressive, and abusive and sexually depraved woman, demanding sexual acts from her unsuspecting partners that often far exceed their comfort zones. The former demure damsel who grew up without love and affection suddenly asks her partners to choke her, hit her, urinate on her, and spit on her, right? So see Exhibit A, Kenneth Marling Fisher and Emma A. Gabby, right? So he's using somebody else's case to try to justify a defamation claim, right? He's not going to state that they found Emma in one of his mansions involuntarily, right? They're not gonna say all these evidence that Emma used to trick the Tates to get her over there. No. Matter of fact, Tates met her at a party and then invited her over to Romania. That's how that worked out. But instead of putting all that in here, no. We got to go leech off of somebody else's actual complaint against Emma Gabby. And Kenneth actually has a complaint about Emma Gabby because Kenneth is the one that didn't know at the time he was dating her that she was underage because she lied on the sugar baby site. Okay, so that was what it is. But that has nothing to do with Andrew Tate. He's just using that to basically put in his complaint to file a defamation suit against her. Okay, which is crazy because he doesn't deny the claims against him. He just uses somebody else's claims to make his shit look Like, it's crazy, bro. It's insane, right? So the girl who could not afford an Uber ride home now demands exclusivity, money, and autocratic control over the man's life. Blackmail and extortion are the penalty of her demand if her demands are not met. This is not true. We actually have Kenneth's files right over here, right? This is it. She was not trying to blackmail him for money or anything like that. Matter of fact, let's scroll down to the back and forth that they had, right? So here's the back and forth that they had. So Gabby, this is her. She's saying, or threatened to have all my information used against me in my rape case. So again, remember I told you, Kenneth was dating Gabby, but didn't know she was underage. When he found out she was underage due to this article over here that I just showed you guys, all right, due to this article, basically, and finding out that Emma was this girl that was charged, right? He realized that at the time of dating Emma was still underage, right? But Emma still had that case going on against that yoga instructor. So she didn't want Kenneth to release the information that she was currently underage at the time of dealing with him, right? Because she was afraid it was going to fuck up her case. Now, this is where I give Kenneth a round of applause, because you want to get these minors off of these sites. And which she was a minor, I applaud him for, ending that situation and trying to be honest about it, right? So that's the backstory to these text messages y'all about to see right now. All right, so Fisher, who's the Kenneth guy, says, I think you need to kill the Eden 22, which was her profile name, and become Emma 17, which was her real name and her current age at that time. And Gabby says, yeah, I can't really tell people my age until I turn 18. Gabby then says, I think it's important for me not to put the case on the line, meaning the case referring to Keith Fox, the actual guy who was raping her since she was 15, right? So going back to it, then Gabby says, Fisher says, it's taken me a while, but I realize that believing you intend to change while you continue to live a lie is just me lying to myself. So she's probably been promising this guy that she was going to out her real age, but never did it. So he was sitting there holding out hope, but he never actually, she never actually did it. And my question is, hey, bro, you found out she's underage. Why are you still talking to her? You should have cut off conversation. The moment you figured it out, you should have aired everything instead of going all this back and forth. Like, oh my God, I feel like a fool for hoping you would change. Like, what the hell is this nonsense, bro? Like, clearly you found out the truth. You tell everybody what happened. You put it out there and you walk away. You make sure everybody who's a party to it knows. But the fact that you're still keeping up this dialogue, trying to get her to out herself by herself, is just inviting too much problems. And you found those problems, which is insane, right? But let's continue. He says, then Gabby then responds, says, if you're looking for me to publicly tell my actual age and name today or before my case is over, I'll sadly have to inform you that I won't. If that is what it is to take to prove myself to you, I won't be able to. Again, hey, Keith, you found out that you're dealing with a minor, and what are you asking her to prove herself to you? You better go call the authorities. You should have cut all contact right then and there. But you're sitting here playing these back and forth game with a 17-year-old. Like, what do you mean what she has to prove to you? Were you actually in love with this girl? Like, okay, fine. But you need to cut that shit off, because clearly it's just more situations that just doesn't look good, especially after you kept up conversations with someone you knew was a minor after the fact you found out, right? Which I just find insane. So Emma's like, well, I won't now, and we're done. So she's basically confirming that, whatever relationship they had, because she's not going to out her real age, it's over with, right? So Mike Fisher then says, or Keith Fisher says, Emma, that's up to you. And then he says, but lying to the world so that you can lie in court, it's a fucked up reason and a fucked up priority. That's kind of fucked up, right? But she then says, so I can lie in court. Okay. And then it says emphasis added. So then Fisher says, you don't mind if I let Manzino know you're 17, do you? So Manzino is probably another guy she's dating at the time. So Gabby then says, why would you do that? You're threatening me because I want to change. Gabby then says, I can come back if you don't do that. So Gabby's basically saying, all right, dude, if you're going to threaten to tell this other guy my real age, I'll come back to you. I'll do whatever you want, right? Again, to this Fisher guy, why are you playing these games? Like, just out her to him save his life and get the fuck out of here. You don't need to be doing this back and forth with a minor, all right? You're not going to win this argument, clearly, because this shit's still open. It's an ongoing case. And then Gabby says nobody's life's at risk, which she's wrong, because you're putting somebody else's reputation on the line. If you're 17 and you're underage, you're only dealing with adults and you're lying about it. That's a scumbag thing to do, right? So then Fisher says everyone you fucked is at risk, and he's right. Though you learned something from that call, more bullshitting. Gabby says, I did learn I won't be fucking anybody older anymore unless they know my age, and if they consent to that, that's on them. And then this is following up the case. It says a true and correct copy of the text messages are incorporated herein by reference as Exhibit C. So basically, they probably have screenshots of this conversation here. Throughout other portions of this exchange, Gabby accuses M. Fisher of terrible abuses, which are completely untrue and can only be seen as her trying to create a fictional but criminally damaging series of events, which did not happen. As the conversation continued, Gabby confesses to another reason for lying about her age. She enjoys exploiting her suitors like a predator. Also, when confronted by M. Fisher about her scheme, she immediately goes on the defensive. Gabby equates being exposed as a liar with blackmail and threaten her own well-being, casting herself as a victim, believing that in telling the truth, M. Fisher has betrayed and abandoned her. The following exchange took place, right? So M. Fisher, then why hide your age from anybody at all, Emma? Gabby says, because I don't want to share my identity because of my case, and I want to drink and have fun. Okay. And then M. Fisher says, Jesus Christ, you're evil, Eden. Gabby says, I'll do what I need to do. Give me a deadline for after my court case. I'll do it for you. So, again, bruh, the whole reason why this is coming about is because you're still going back and forth with the minor, playing these games because you're trying to basically justify some shit to yourself. You already uncovered she's a minor. Expose that and walk away from it. But the fact that you keep going back and forth in these text messages with this girl is just kind of weird, bro, because now you're giving her a reason to do that. Now, here's the thing. The way he worded it in his complaint was different from what the actual text messages said, right? Because he said that, M. Fisher, Gabby accuses M. Fisher of terrible abuses, which are completely untrue and can only be seen as her trying to create a fictional but criminally damaging series of events, which did not happen. As conversation continued, Gabby confesses to another reason for lying about her age. She enjoys exploiting her suitors like a predator. Also, when confronted by M. Fisher about her scheme, she admittedly goes on the defensive. All right, so time out. From what I see is he confronts her by saying, then why hide your age from anybody at all, Emma? And then Gabby says, because I don't want to share my identity because of my case, and I want to drink and have fun. Okay. So it seems like her main priority right now is the current pending case that is actually true of rape, right? So she doesn't want to let that be known, which I think is disgusting because, like, yo, you got a pending case out here and you over here lying about your age. Like, you that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, you need to settle down and go get your priorities straight, right? But what's even crazier is how this guy, because she wants to drink and have fun. That's crazy. All that's crazy. But the way he worded it up here is definitely not what the text message is saying back and forth. So she's basically saying, I'll do what I have to do to protect whatever this case going on with this case. Fisher goes on to say, I'm doing it for you right now. Your case is irrelevant and has no bearing on the legality for him. Me or countless of others were all trapped by that, and most of us aren't aware of what you're having us do until it's too late. Again, stop talking to her, disengage, and go tell the proper authorities of what she's doing. But you want to keep playing this emotional game with this 17-year-old after finding out she's 17. So let's continue. She says, Gabby says, you are willing to blackmail me to ruin my rape case. All this behavior happened after the case, my choices. So where Gabby is seeing this as blackmail is that this guy is basically talking to her constantly, trying to get her to admit to her age, right? Which, although on the surface, it seems like a noble thing to do, it's like, dude, he even admits it right here. You don't even need her to go and admit it herself. You already are going to do that. So why are you still talking to her? Go do that, right? Because now what the fact that you're still pushing her and saying, hey, you go do this or else I'm gonna do it, she's taking it as blackmail. All right, that's what he's doing. Again, you don't know what a teenager is gonna be doing when they're scared of shit. They're gonna make up some bullshit to try to frame you because they feel as though you're attacking them. You should have went to the fucking authorities. I don't know why you're sitting here still having this emotional dialogue with a fucking girl you find out it's underage, which is crazy to me, bro. Like, guys in the chat, if you find out that, and this is not through her telling you, but you find out the girl you're dealing with is a minor, are you going to be texting her back and forth? Are you going to be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? Or are you going to say, yeah, I'm stopping all conversations right now, and then I'm going to let everybody else know? That's what you should have done, but you didn't. You're having this conversation over here, and it just doesn't look good for you, buddy. So Gabby then says, You're putting people's lives as predicaments. She says, you don't know if any of his private investigators were watching me after what happened. Fisher says, I don't need your consent to tell people. Why are you still talking to her? Even you admitted that in the text. Why are you still talking to her? Let it go. You don't need her consent, which you don't. Go tell other people she's dealing with so they can protect themselves. But you're doing this over here, talking to a minor. Let's continue. All right. He says you agreed to make that information public about 50 times over. Every time you accepted the terms and conditions of each social site, you have no intent or desire to change. You have no plan to change. And Mr. Fisher, you can't make her change. So go do what you're supposed to do. Right. And Fisher says, I don't want anything. And because I don't want anything, it's not blackmail. You do. You want her to do something for you in exchange for you doing it anyways, right? So if you remove you wanting her to do anything, you should just go report what she's doing to the authorities without even talking to a minor. Leave her alone. You found out she's a minor. Cut it off. Move. Why are you still having this emotional dialogue with her? I don't know. But then Gabby says, if you choose to blackmail me, I will have no choice. Expect to be honest. She's meant to say, except to be honest with the world about what you've done to me, why you would have had suffered repercussions of the truth among several men that are attributing to my problems and behavior, of whom I've also had evidence for. So right here, she's basically saying, listen, if you're going to go ahead and out me as a minor, right, basically I'm going to let everybody know that we've had some sex and we had some crazy, crazy sex. Because remember, she's the same girl that likes that piss on BDSM, according to the complaint that Andrew Tate's putting out there. All right. So guys, I'll put the links of these stuff in the description so you guys can go read and put the get the full context, right? And this isn't a matter of taking sides or a matter of anything like that, because frankly, I thought what she did was disgusting, right? Yeah, look, and listen, you can't be lying about your age and dealing with grown men, right? On the other hand, I understand, you know, how someone could be so mentally fucked up that they can go down that path, right? Because a lot of young girls, they don't come from the best background. Matter of fact, and some of you guys probably know it, some girls you deal with probably have been touched by older people in the past. I know I have not dated a girl yet that hasn't went through that, right? It seems like majority of girls that, you know, are out there have been molested or raped in some kind of way. And I'm not saying that's all women, but clearly it's something that is happening to a significant portion of women out there. So they have a legitimate fear, right? Because there are men in their households who are predatory and they prey on them, right? And those girls grow up to be fucked up in the head, and then they end up on OnlyFans or they end up on these sugar daddy sites because they don't have anybody paying attention to them at home. So you could definitely understand the surrounding situations about it, but let's get the brass tacks of the situation. All right. Did Emma Gabby, all right, did she falsely accuse Tate of anything? From what we could see on Tate's complaint, no. It seems like what she's accusing, A, hasn't been proven yet, or B, actually happened. So what actually happened was when Dykop broke into Tate's mansion, they found her there. That is a fact. What we don't know and has to be proven is, was she held against her will? That's what the prosecutors are going to deliberate on, all right? But did she make false accusations against Tate? No, because she made a statement to the embassy, or at least her mom did, that she was being held against her will. They broke into the house. They found her there. Now they have to prove that she was being held against her will. Now, did Emma Gabby falsify information in order to get access to older men? Absolutely. All right. She lied about her age on numerous dating sites to date older men. All right. Was Emma Gabby lying about her grape situation when she was 15, like Andrew Tate is alleging in his complaint? No. Fact, she was actually raped when she was 15 years old by a 58-year-old guy while she was 15. And her mom found out through a private investigator. So all of that's true. All right. What she, all that stuff in the middle, all that, it's all true. But what Tate's alleging right now, it's not true at all. Now, another thing, that a lot of lies that are coming out in the Tate camp, they keep going about and preaching this. Andrew Tate is free. He's free. Look at this. He's a free man. All you guys don't know anything. All right. He's free, and you guys are just hating and whatnot. That's not actually true. Matter of fact, I found a channel by Romanian TV. The guy is a Romanian guy, all right, and he breaks down exactly what's about to happen to Andrew Tate. And I want you guys to take a listen, because I don't think this channel has enough views, and it deserves more views, especially for the sub. It needs more views, especially on this topic, because he breaks it down properly. A lot of you guys thinking he's free. No. That's just the Romanian government working differently. He's still very much locked down, okay? So let's go ahead and play this video real quick, and then we'll get on with it.
Mr. Tate has been released from house arrest, and a lot of people falsely believe on social media that this means that the charges against him were dropped or that he was found innocent. And this is not the case. This is not how the Romanian justice system works. So I'll do my best to try to explain it. When the authorities believe that someone committed the crime, the first stage is they do the investigation. In most cases, the person is allowed to be free while the investigation takes place. During this time, the person is not getting charged. Once the authorities have finished doing the investigation, they can choose to either press charges or to drop the case. If they press charges, then the person goes to court. And if he is found guilty, he goes to prison. If he is found innocent, he is allowed to go free. There are some exceptions to this. When the person is a flight risk, so let's say he has dual citizenship, or he owns a private jet. In that situation, during the investigation, before the charges are pressed, the person can be detained. This will happen for a maximum of 6 months. After those 6 months, the person goes under house arrest. There is another exception when the person is considered to be influential enough in order to sway the investigation. This could be due to the fact that he is a renowned public influencer, a politician, a powerful business person, Don Corleone, anyone that can hamper the investigation by trying to intimidate witnesses or trying to corrupt certain witnesses or try to change some evidence, right? So in this situation, the person, while he is investigated, before he is being charged, is going to be detained. Now, in the case of Andrew Tate, he was detained for 6 months in prison and then for several more months under house arrest. And now he is being let go. This doesn't mean that they're not pressing charges against him. It also doesn't mean that they found him innocent. They simply believe that either he is no longer a flight risk, or he cannot sway the public opinion more than it has already been swayed, or he can't, at this point, manipulate any of the evidence that the police have gathered.
So again, obviously, I think Tate's a flight risk. So the fact that he's saying that the reason why he's out on house arrest, he's no longer there because either they don't consider him a flight risk anymore. That could basically mean they still have his travel documents, right? So they're saying, okay, we got your documents. It's going to be tough for you getting around. Okay. But the other position he brings up is something that Tate's actually guilty of doing, which is bribing officials and, getting access to other witnesses. If that was one of the reasons they kept him under house arrest, and now they're releasing him, all right, it could possibly be that they're nearing the end of, tightening a lot of this stuff up, a lot of the evidence and everything, right? So they're basically saying, okay, there's nothing else he can do and say that can sway anybody's mind anymore. What's done is done. So basically what this means is if they're letting him out, we could be we're looking at probably the final home stretch of this thing right now, and then trial is going to come shortly after. That's essentially what this is indicating to me. So after this 60 days, we'll find out in October. All right, it'd be crazy if they extend it for another 60 days, which I doubt. But for a massive case like Andrew Tate's, after the 60 days, I think we're going to have trial, or at least a date where trial is going to be scheduled for, and then we're going to find out a bunch of shit, right? Kayana, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Kayana says, Emma better keep her fast tail to the side and be quiet because this Candace is a bully. She better not talk to these YouTubers. If Emma knows what's good for her, she needs to go to rehab. She's clearly got some issues she needs to work with. She's got to go to rehab, all right? And the thing is, clearly, she, again, you can't, with her, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But one thing we can take with factual knowledge is that she was raped. That was proven. That was proven to happen. All right. Now, the circumstances between that, where, some people are out there saying, oh, maybe, she knew what she was doing at 15 years old, trying to get these grown men to fall in love with her. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that guy who's 58 had a lot of had a huge hand in grooming her to the mindset she had of believing that he was actually in love with her, right? Think about it. I mean, you're a 58-year-old guy talking to a 15-year-old about nobody can love you the way he can. Like, that's disgusting, bro. You're 58. You're old enough to be her grandpa. Like, you're talking like that. So I think the manipulation majority goes on his end there. But yeah, did she lie about certain things? Absolutely. So what she needs to do is just work on how to get past this defamation case Andrew Tate's dealing with her, and figure out how to basically, go to rehab or do something, bro, because she shouldn't even be out here in the streets. Like, she shouldn't be out here in these streets. The Wildlife Guy, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, I work with animals, and Candace Owens reminds me of hyenas. Anyways, love your content. Keep up the good work. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's continue.
Take into account that this case, and this is something that most people don't even speak about on social media, isn't just against Andrew Tate. There are many other people that are being investigated. From what I understand, there's an entire police station that's being under investigation. There's 2 other women as well, and his brother. So if they consider that the investigation regarding Tate himself has been concluded, and they are still working to gather evidence on the other people accused, they see no reason to keep Tate under house arrest. Take into account that if he is going to be found innocent, or if the authorities do not press charges, they will owe him reparations. Because Tate is a millionaire, they will probably owe him a lot of money. They also have to give him back his cars. If you guys remember, his cars were impounded by the Romanian government. They haven't sold them or do anything with them. They're probably in a warehouse. And this is in the case that Andrew Tate is going to have to pay damages to the women that are accusing him, and he refuses to do so. They can just sell the cars and use that money in order to pay. This is why the Romanian government has taken his cars away. But again, if he is found...
Listen, I want people to hear that, because apparently a lot of people are saying, oh, Andrew Tate got his cars back. No, he didn't. They're holding on to it because his cars are collateral for how this trial goes, right? So if the trial goes in Tate's favor, he gets the cars back and some, right? But if it goes against his favor, the cars and everything else that were confiscated goes towards paying the cost of the investigation, which actually is going to cost Andrew Tate more money, because Andrew Tate doesn't actually own any of those cars. They're all either leased or rented. I think they're leased, but I don't think he owns that, because it's through a company that he leases all of his other luxury stuff with. If we actually think about it, Andrew Tate is pretty much a Mr. Organics, right? Because Mr. Organics will lease all the Lambo Uruses and all his supercars and whatnot, but pretend that he's some kind of millionaire and people buy into it, right? Andrew Tate's doing the same thing. A lot of this shit was leased. He never owned anything. So when you're talking about where's your Bugatti, he never owned one. He never owned anything. And he was telling you guys to your faces the whole time. While y'all were aspiring to be him and get your Bugatti, he never had one to begin with. He never had a yacht. He never even had a real boxing or kickboxing career. Okay, so listen, when you start digging into this guy, there are a lot of things that Andrew Tate fabricated and made up. It's not true. He's a liar. So he doesn't have his card back, okay? Don't listen to any, because there's a lot of Tate propagandist channel out there. There's very few channels that tell how it is. There are a lot of Tate propagandist channels. He doesn't have his card back. He's not getting his card back until the conclusion of trial. Heathen Queen, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Heathen Queen says, just because a girl is a hoe don't mean they innocent. No, that's facts. That's facts, right? So think about it, right? It's these damaged girls that these men love dealing with, and I just don't understand it, right? They tell you to go chase a good girl and go chase a virgin and whatnot, but these guys end up dealing with damaged women. It's just like that's crazy. Like Tate, you couldn't see that this was a problem. You couldn't see this was happening. Oh, okay, I mean, I guess because you're super great with women and all these super skills and whatnot. You couldn't see this coming, really, buddy? Really? Just continue.
Innocent. Or if he wants to, if he's found guilty and has to pay and pays from his own pockets, he will get the cars back. The cars are pretty much like an insurance that he is going to pay no matter what. So this is what has happened so far. Like either they're considering that he's no longer a flight risk due to the fact that he is renowned around the world and everyone knows who he is. So if he tries to leave the country, people are going to call the authorities. Or they don't believe that he can sway the public influence more than it has already been swayed. There's also the possibility that they believe that he's no longer able to influence witnesses. They have all the evidence. They have all the people that came forward and the press charges. So they may believe that there is no longer a reason to keep him under house arrest. Again,
the more he says that, the more I'm actually thinking that's actually the major reason, right? Because I'm like, why would the judge let someone like that go out of house arrest? He's clearly a flight risk, right? And there are obvious signs that proves this guy's a flight risk. But apparently the Romanian judicial system, they probably have his documents again, right? And they have sufficient evidence to probably think that he's not going to be a flight risk. And maybe Tate has given up sufficient collateral for them to believe he's not a flight risk. So that makes me think that his reasoning for thinking that the main reason they kept him behind bars was so he doesn't affect witnesses or intimidate witnesses or reach out and bribe anybody. Now, the reason why I'm thinking more and more that he's right, because what I'm starting to realize now is while he was under house arrest, they already had surveillance on Andrew Tate's gadgets, his phones and everything, right? While he was in prison, they already had surveillance on all that stuff, right? So they already got information of Tate trying to bribe top officials and basically sending out messages to his not his handlers, but his assistants to reach out to some of these victims that these Romanian governments were interviewing and try to get them to make videos, right? Because that's what Tate was doing. They have proof of that. He was actually reaching out to victims, all right, and making them make videos out there on TikTok to say that he's innocent. That's why Tate can come out and brag and say, not one of these girls said I'm guilty, all right? All these girls came out with videos saying I'm innocent and I didn't do anything wrong, right? That's because he actually got his assistant to tell those girls to make those videos. They didn't genuinely make those videos. It was that they have proof of that. So that's why like they wanted to keep him on the lockdown, because they're saying this guy, he'll find a way to reach out to all these people and change their minds and things like that. So the more he's talking, the more I'm starting to realize that may actually be the reason they took him off of house arrest, because now they realize, well, we're almost done with this case. Everybody that we are going to put against you, it's already there. So there's no one else you're going to be able to bribe or, try to reach out to and things like that. You've played your hand. We've seen it. It's over. Time to go to trial. And that's starting to make more sense now.
As I mentioned before, this can cost the Romanian government a lot. Usually the authorities prefer not to keep people under house arrest. They prefer not to detain people unless they're incredibly sure that the accusation is going to stick. But what it's important to point out is that this does not speak about his guilt. I see some people on social media saying about his innocence.
Tell him.
He is presumed to be innocent. Like, he doesn't have to prove his innocence, okay? The government has to prove his guilt. He doesn't have to prove his innocence. But what I tried to say is that the fact that he was released from house arrest doesn't say anything about the case itself. When he went to the judge to appeal, it's most likely they didn't even talk about the case at all. The only question is he a flight risk? Is he capable of intimidating witnesses? Is he capable of swaying public opinion? And the judge that looked at the appeal decided that no. So this is what it's about, right? Because I seen a lot of people not really understanding what's going on social media. Especially, I think like Tate's lawyer said that he is hopeful that this is going to lead to other good things in the future. And, you know, as a lawyer, like, he's got all the right to say this. But the case itself hasn't been discussed yet. Like, they haven't really talked about the investigation that the police did, what the findings are, what the witnesses have said. Like, we still don't know any of that.
That's facts. The lawyers, the actual guys that are going to be fighting in the courts systems, Romanian court systems, they're not saying a thing about the case, right? But Andrew Tate, the person who the lawyers are trying to defend, is going around saying all these other things that have nothing to do with the facts at hand, right? He's saying, no, we're talking about the Matrix and talking about all these other nonsense that don't really matter, but the lawyers are keeping it silent. Now, if the lawyers can keep Tate quiet, that'd be a good thing, because the more Tate opens his mouth, the more he might actually contradict whatever evidence the lawyers may have tried to use to help his case, right? So he's only digging himself in a hole. The biggest thing Tate can do should have just sit quiet, wait for trial. But now all these videos are coming out, more people are digging, all this stuff is being exposed. It's not looking too good. But for you tater tots that think he's gonna be innocent or found innocent of everything, even Tate knows in his little unhinged rant that he did right after getting out of that house arrest news, right? He was like, even if they lock me up and end this, I don't care. Because he knows at the end of the day, there's still an opportunity for him to go to jail, all right? Because there is an opportunity he's going to jail. No, it's not even an opportunity. It's guaranteed. He's going to now, how much prison time he's going to face, we don't know. That's up in the air. Maybe that's where his lawyers can come in and do some real work. But to sit there and pretend that this guy isn't going to jail, all right, or prison, right, just because some girl has a defamation lawsuit against her by Andrew Tate, it's like, nah, that defamation lawsuit has nothing to do with what they're alleging. And guess what? Emma Gabby is one of the two victims that they found in that mansion. So I'm assuming she's also going to be a witness at the trial. So evidence of that is going to be proven. So those of you guys who are running around saying, oh, yeah, she's making false accusations, we don't actually know that yet. The only facts of the matter that we know is this 21-year-old girl was found in Tate's mansion, okay? Tate, she didn't lie about her age to Tate. She was already over 18 by the time she met Tate. That was so the underage line. That's not even that's somebody else's struggle that Andrew Tate is trying to pretend it's his, okay? She was 21 when she dealt with Tate. The real question is, did Tate hold her against her will while she was there? And I'm assuming she's going to be a witness since she's one of the two girls that they found. And that's when the evidence is going to come out. That's what y'all should be doing, waiting for that evidence to come out instead of listening to this guy who knows he's going to prison sit there trying to conclude that there's a mythical matrix out there out to get him. Like, y'all need to grow up. Grow up with this nonsense. It's too much. Let's keep going with this dude. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all go hit this channel up.
Most likely.
It's called the Romanian TV. All right, it definitely needs more views. All right, get it out there. Go ahead and check him out. He doesn't really cover Andrew Tate or Manosphere stuff, but I mean, he's Romanian, and this is clearly in his worldview. So let's go from there. So one video I wanted to cover, and it's going to be part of two series. We'll probably save the next series for a different video, is a video done by Common Sense Skeptic. And I had no idea someone like Common Sense Skeptic actually would do a video on guys like Andrew Tate, because realistically, those of you guys who watch comments, I've been subscribed to his channel for a bit, right? So some of you guys who watch his stuff, okay, Common Sense Skeptic usually goes in on Elon Musk, all right? The dude is going in, and at this point, just call his channel Debunking Elon Musk, which I find hilarious, right? But recently, he did a deep dive, multiple part deep dive on breaking down the many lies of Andrew Tate. And in this episode right here, chat, please get the likes up. We're gonna cover part one. The next episode, we're gonna cover part two, because Common Sense Skeptic put everything together. It's like icing on the cake. And listen, you tater tots, at this point, you're just dreaming that this guy's gonna be innocent, and it's not the case, bro. He's going to prison. Him and his brother. Matter of fact, his brother started this whole thing. His brother started this whole situation, bro. That's crazy to me. So let's go ahead and play Common Sense Skeptic's a video real quick. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this audio.
Beautiful, big, natural tits. So cute. Man, it hurt her at every moment.
Oh, hold up.
Told her I knew what she
Give him a cute, sweet, and innocent younger brother, and not at all complicit in the crimes he and his brother are accused of. Think again. Here's what happens when the girls that work for Tristan don't give him all their money.
be in charge of her own phone contact with members who like her. You are setting yourself up to get scammed. And that has happened to me before. I went to the room, smashed the room up, told her I knew what she did. She sent me all the money, but that has happened to me before.
Here's how Tristan bragged on a podcast about sexually abusing a 17-year-old girl.
Oh, Olivia. Jesus Christ. I was the second man she ever in her whole life. Beautiful, big, natural tits. So cute. Man, it hurt her at every moment I was doing it, but it felt good for me, so who gives a shit?
And this tweet shows how his 35-year-old brain looks at 15-year-old children. To be clear, the age of consent in Romania is 15. However, if an older party abuses their authority or influence to gain sexual access to a victim, the age of consent then rises to 18 years old, which, for the Tates, is problematic.
One of my main chicks has 200,000 Instagram followers, and I took her virginity when she was 17. That's legal, by the way, here. I don't know if it's 18 in your crazy country.
However, Romanian age of consent laws are not the only laws that would apply here. Something you might find interesting if you're an American viewer is that anyone holding U.S. citizenship or passports, which the Tates do as U.S.-born citizens, is that there are severe laws on the books for people who have sex with minors abroad. The laws against the extraterritorial sexual exploitation of children prosecute people who travel out of the states to foreign countries that rape, sexually molest, or pay a child for sex. The penalty for this provision is up to 30 years in prison. Further, 18 U.S.C. 1596 grants extraterritorial jurisdiction to prosecutors to investigate foreign nationals who commit sex trafficking crimes against children outside the U.S. And for all of these statutes, a child is considered to be anyone under the age of 18. So
I never understood these guys and their love for virgins, bro. And I keep telling you, it like almost always when you see guys like stressing about that, it's usually these underage girls, bro. Like that's just let's just call a spade a spade. When Myra is talking about going to another country and finding him a virgin to marry, let's just be real. It's gonna be an underage girl. That's what a lot of these good dudes are doing, right? These good men are the one good women. They want to fly out overseas and go to countries where maybe dating a 15-year-old is not a bad thing because a lot of these guys, they're used to it. That's why I tell you, y'all got to be careful with these guys when they're having this talk. Listen, I have not, I've been around it. I've not once met a virgin, right? I've met girls who were like maybe inexperienced, right? But not virgins because usually they lose their virginity when they're teenagers, right? So if y'all are looking for virgins, then y'all are probably looking for girls. I'm not saying all girls, right? But I'm saying like typically that's the demographic. So are we surprised that Tristan Tate is dealing with 17-year-old? Are we surprised that Andrew Tate, his bottom bitch, she was 16 when he found her, right? With a lot of these stuff now, it's just when you see these guys start to flock around a certain theme, all right, and they're being indicted for a theme around that sorts, right? You gotta help, but you gotta start asking questions like, why are y'all around this stuff? Like, why do your names keep popping up with this junk, right? But then again, Tater Tots are not going to ask the question because a lot of them this is good for them. They want these inexperienced underage girls they can have sex with. Y'all are just disgusting, bro. Especially you, Candace Owens, because you support all this nonsense.
So if the American justice system decided to step up to the plate, both the brothers could be looking at severe federal charges as international statutory rapists. Let's be absolutely clear about Tristan. You would be hard-pressed to find a lie or exaggeration or a boastful claim that Andrew Tate made in the past that has not also been made by Tristan. They are co-conspirator peas of the exact same pot.
I have recruited, I think, although you've worked with a lot, more girls into, I guess, the adult entertainment industry than anyone else. I really have. And the one type of girl I couldn't recruit were girls with rich parents. Oh, do that for money. I don't need money. My family's rich.
One of the first things you have to learn about Andrew Tate is that absolutely everything he tells you is a lie. You can be more generous and call it an exaggeration of the truth, but lie suits far better. Doesn't matter if he's talking about his family, His childhood, his kickboxing career, his self-proclaimed wealth, everything is exaggerated beyond the point of believability, including how this receding jawline with hair plugs is continually promoting himself.
Hey, yo! I always knew this nigga's chin was sus, bro. I always knew it. I'm like, yo, he's got no chin, dog. Like, this don't make any sense, bro. My dude is literally shaped like an upside down egg. That's what he looks like, bro. Like, y'all are listening to a weak chin dude basically get rich off of desperate dudes, because that's how we make money. A lot of y'all, see, a lot of these theater tots, they're thinking that Andrew Tate was always rich. No, he got rich off of you desperate dudes. Like, it's crazy. He was broke before that. He was average before that. But when he realized that only guys will pay literally the grandma's inheritance to speak to a woman that doesn't even know he exists, that's when he took over. Realistically, anybody could do that. Anybody can do that. It's just who has the morals to be able to do stuff like that, who has the character and doesn't have the character to do stuff like that. That's why a lot of people don't gravitate towards pimping girls or running OnlyFans management agencies like Tristan and his brother Andrew Tate. Just saying. So all y'all looking at him like he's some kind of hero. Oh, he told me these vague motivational, inspirational quotes, and now I'm in the process of changing my life. How? Have you actually changed your life, or do you feel that your life has changed because you listened to some vague motivational garbage that made you vaguely feel great that time, right? It's, again, the Tony Robbins effect. I could point to you multiple other motivational speakers that can actually go more in depth and be more precise about like the stuff that motivates them versus what Andrew Tate talks about. Andrew Tate talks about the most basic shit, right? Like, we was on Candace Owens' show, and she was asking him, "Oh, well, spending all that time in prison and whatnot, what did that do to you, and what kind of lessons did you learn?" Well, I learned how to do my best. All right. See, this is the problem that young men have today. They don't know when they can do their best. All right. It's like, do your best. The fuck does that mean? That's supposed to be vague shit I've ever heard. Like, imagine you're a guy in prison, right? You just got out of prison. You spent, let's say, 3 years in prison, and you come out, and somebody asked you the same question Candace Owens asked Andrew Tate and said, "Okay, what was some lessons you learned while you were in prison and whatnot?" I can guarantee you they can come up with like profound experiences and lessons and maybe stories that they can relate to and say, this is why my life is gonna change from here on forward. Right now with Andrew Tate, he said, I was sitting in jail and God told me to do my best, and I did my best. It's like, what? So that's it. Just do your best. You're not going to talk about how you changed your life ever since you got out of jail. Oh, that's right. He said on the same show with Candace Owens, he doesn't apologize for shit. So he actually never changed. Still the same guy. And fuck all, just do your best, right? Hey, listen, really pay attention to the shit he says, okay? You'd realize that the guy who inspired you was basic as fuck. That should tell you about your fucking life and where you at. And where you need to be. You shouldn't be on YouTube listening to fucking idiots for role models. You should probably go out and build a community and talk to people who are in your circles rather than listen to some vague guy talk about doing your best. Y'all sound crazy, bro.
As the epitome of human accomplishment. Now, even though this episode was supposed to be avoiding Elon Musk, it has to be said there will be a couple mentions of him because, of course, Musk finds his way into every topic and every story under the sun these days. For example, when Musk challenged Mark Zuckerberg to a cage match, which Zuck immediately accepted, and Dana White started promoting as the fight of the century because reasons, Andrew Tate reached out to Mr. Potato Head and offered to train him while Tate was under house arrest in Romania if Musk's mother was going to let him fight at all. See, May and her eldest son, pictured here entering the Jocasta Oedipus cotillion, share a special bond. At 52 years of age, it seems he still requires Mummy's permission to come out and play. And it would appear, as of today, he's not allowed, even if he was going to be trained by one of the highest profile sex traffickers in Romania. So instead, Musk has appealed to his mother's Canadian roots and taken up George St. Pierre's offer to train in order to win Mom over. We'll point out other connections between these two Neanderthals as they come up, but we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's back up a bit and find out who Andrew Tate is, where he came from, and how the hell we got here.
I want to know, who is Andrew Tate?
First off, Andrew Tate's name is not actually Andrew Tate. His birth name, Emery Andrew Tate III, was given him by his African-American father, Emory Tate Jr., a second-tier chess player and former Staff Sergeant Airman.
Oh, yo, he said a second-tier chess player. Well, hold up. Common sense skeptic, you're gonna have to come up with some proof. You're gonna call Andrew Tate's dad a second-tier chess player, because a lot of tater tots will disagree with you now. I know we got some of them in the building, but they will disagree with you because Andrew Tate, their papa, all right, he said that his daddy was the best grandmaster champion chess player out there. All right, so you better come with some receipts.
In the U.S. military, and his British mother, Eileen, who was a part-time dishwasher. Andy was born in late 1986, his brother Tristan in mid-1988. The two parents produced these two partners in crime and a daughter named Janine. Janine, the youngest child, is a lawyer in the U.S. who has very little contact with her older brothers, while the two boys are reportedly inseparable.
That's crazy.
Obviously, Janine is the smarter of the siblings.
You wouldn't even know from the way they talk that they had sisters like that. But your sister's a successful lawyer, all right? Meanwhile, y'all are going to prison. You should hire her. I don't know if she's a criminal lawyer, but how make it make sense, bro. The sister that they I'm sure they probably don't even talk. If they, I don't even think they talk about their sister that much. And if they do mention their sister, it's probably not in good context, right? But I'm pretty sure, like, just look at how life turned out. Their sister probably like, yo, I know what game these dudes are on. That's why they don't talk to each other no more. And think about it. She went out and pursued a life with the straight edge and became a lawyer while y'all are in prison right now. Like, this is crazy. It sounds like the universe was trying to tell you something, bro. Maybe you should hire her, okay? Maybe at the end of the day, family's all you got. Because if we're going down the trajectory you're going down and your lawyer's not telling you to stop self-snitching, I don't know what else to tell you, brother. But it is what it is, dog. Let's continue.
Emory Tate III now chooses to go by his middle name, Andrew. His parents divorced in 1997 when little Andy was about 12. His mother returned to England with the children, and when Andrew started making money through his kickboxing career, he decided for his mother she could retire and that he would take care of all of her expenses, which sounds very noble and generous. Until you realize that Tate's entire asset portfolio, cash and crypto, has now been seized due to being proceeds of his ongoing criminal enterprise that was funding Eileen's retirement, which she is not too happy about. Which means Eileen will probably wind up suffering as a result if she hasn't been banking some of her allowance. Tate's father, on the other hand, who Andy likes to describe as a genius as a way to pump up his own imagined intellectual prowess, died in 2015 in his 50s, so Emory Jr. was spared this chapter of his son's lives and the repercussions of it. Andy also has no qualms about calling his father abusive, and he likes to tell stories of his tragic youth suffering at the hands of Emory Jr., who was busted down from sergeant to janitor due to some conflict with his superiors, and he was eventually drummed out of the military completely in 1992.
Whoa! Hey, yo, Tate, you didn't say that. How do you go from sergeant to janitor? How does he? Whoa! You skipping a couple ranks, dude. Hey, yo, something don't make sense, dude. Something don't make, like, at least get demoted with corporal, lance corporal. You got to all of a sudden go from a sergeant. Nah, fuck it, you a janitor now, bro. You must have fucked up so bad, dog. You must have fucked up so bad. To go from a sergeant to a janitor, dog. They don't like you. They fucking, yeah, yo. Oh my God, yo, I gotta know why that dog. Hey, yo, you gotta have receipts for this.
Father abusive, and he likes to tell stories of his tragic youth suffering at the hands of Emory Jr., who was busted down from sergeant to janitor due to some conflict with his superiors. Then he was eventually drummed out of the military completely in 1992.
When they discharged him, they said he had narcissistic personality disorder. And the reason they said he had that is because he refused to listen to one of his commanders. And my father was arguing with him about the translation of a certain word. My father believed it was slang for something else. The superior believed it was something else. They got into a personal beef. It developed over months and months and months of arguments about translations. And eventually, my dad ended up being told to sweep outside for 8 hours a day. And I got to the point where my father got discharged. And they offered him to.
Whoa! Hold up. I got to rewind this. This is not making any sense. Wait a minute. Your daddy got busted down from sergeant to a janitor. All right. And from there, they booted him out of the military. And they said it's because he has a narcissistic personality disorder, right? which then you're saying no, it's because he was arguing with his superior about a word meaning something else, and he was adamant about making sure they knew it didn't mean the other thing. It would sound like their analysis of somebody being a narcissist is correct, because in the military, one of the main things they're supposed to drill out of you is your individualism, so you can learn how to be part of a unit, right? That's why they break you down in boot camp. Okay, so you mean that your daddy went through boot camp, all right, rose through the ranks, but still didn't understand how to respect his superiors? Of course they're going to can him, because a sergeant like that is dangerous when you're talking about battle and not willing to listen to orders. Okay, he's not a good person or a good fit in the military. But you know what your daddy's good for? Sweeping the front. Go ahead and sweep the front, buddy. Yeah, you can't listen to authority. Shit, might as well be a janitor. And guess what? He got kicked out, so he couldn't do that right, apparently. Jesus Christ, bro. Kiana, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Kiana says that Tate says that their attorney sister is stupid and that she's stuck in the matrix. They probably need her behind right now. Twist of fate. They actually said her sister. Wait a minute. The Tate brothers, whose sister is an attorney right now, they said she's stupid and stuck in the matrix? Nah. No, fuck it. They said that for real. Oh, how fate has turned indeed. Hey, who needs the matrix now to help you get out, huh? What about the lawyers you're hiring right now? They not stuck in the matrix? I mean, you should be careful about them if you're looking at your sister a little sus. Yo, these guys are insane, bro. Look how everything they're saying starts to come back against them when they're faced with reality, right? All of a sudden, everything's fun and games until reality slaps you in the face. And then you realize that maybe you should have not clowned your sister, who's also an attorney, especially when you're in a position when you need a real attorney by your side. This is crazy. Be Too Cool, shout out to you for $5 super chat. Be Too Cool says, yeah, Tate's father was a phenomenal chess player in a game of corruption. Shaking my head. Shout out to you, bro. Apparently he couldn't make it as a janitor, which is interesting to me, bro. Like, how did you make it through boot camp and to be a sergeant? Because you got to go through several ranks to be a sergeant and just lose it all. You got to be reckless, bro. Like, that's somebody who's not all sensible and all there, bro. As a sergeant, most sergeants know you don't backtalk your superiors like that. That's insane, bro. You got demoted to a janitor.
Superiors. Then he was eventually drummed out of the military completely in 1992.
When they discharged him, they said he had narcissistic personality disorder. And the reason they said he had that is because he refused to listen to one of his commanders. And my father was arguing with him about the translation of a certain word. My father believed it was slang for something else. The superior believed it was something else. They got into a personal beef. It developed over months and months and months of arguments about translations. And eventually, my dad ended up being told to sweep outside 8 hours a day. And I got to the point where my father got discharged. And they offered him this military pension, and he refused it. He said, my sanity is not for sale.
Out of his diagnosed narcissistic pride, which would seem to be passed on genetically on the male side of the Tate bloodline, Emery Jr. refused his military pension, which drove...
What a fucking dumbass! Your dad's let me not... Yo! So a pension. This is a pension we're talking about here. Most people don't even get that in the working world, in the civilized world, because pensions, they don't exist like that. You mean after your daddy's back talk, the military was still able to offer him a pension, and because he was too damn prideful, basically said no to all of that. So he basically said, fuck his kids, fuck his wife, I'm not taking that pension because I don't like the way I was treated. And then you wonder why their diagnosis of him being a narcissist is spot on. Buddy wouldn't even think about his family at that point. Shit, if you were that crazy to go ahead and get demoted from a sergeant to a janitor, and then they kick you out, but they're still wanting to give you a pension and you don't want to take it, like you're a scumbag. I'm sorry, bro. You just let. No wonder the wife went back to the UK, because it's clear the dad has a clear history of not being able to take care of shit or get shit done. You can't even handle being a sergeant in the military, my guy. That's insane.
Drove his family into destitution as Emery Jr. pursued chess tournament glory and alcoholism. Another trait that seems to be genetic in the XYs of the Tate family is misogyny. Take, for example, this tweet where Andy relays how his father described his mother to him. She fed you healthy meals every day, cleaned the house, and was largely quiet. Although Emery Jr. claimed to love her very much, that's not how a loving husband describes his wife. That's how someone describes a servant, a maid, or a nanny.
That's
As
facts.
the final line in the tweet states, according to Andrew, that's literally all a man wants. Andrew has since stepped up the misogyny quite a bit, but we're going to get to that later. 5 years after Emery Jr. got the boot from the military, his lady servant decided she'd had enough of being broke and cheated on, so she packed up the kids and moved back to the UK.
So she
my mom and
stayed
dad
with you.
split up,
Hold
they
up,
moved to England.
Chad. You mean to tell me your mother, 5 years after your dad got kicked out of the military and refused a pension, she still stayed with him? Meanwhile, he had the means at his fingertips to take care of you and your mother, and he could potentially have that pension could have probably helped kept your family together. But instead, your daddy, out of his own ego, refused the pension, meaning no more income coming in. So I guess the man's not taking care of the house. On top of that, he's cheating on your moms. Yeah, you have the guts to come over here and talk. Oh yeah, my dad was such a great guy. He, grandmaster, CIA linguist, all. Bruh, now more will find out. Your dad wasn't shit, bruh. Congratulations. Your dad is just like most other dudes' dads out here that aren't really good. And they're probably worse dads out here. But damn, how far do you have to go to build a lie? This is crazy.
England, and my sister stopped talking to my dad because obviously my mom was upset because they split up and my dad cheated. Yeah,
she should have expected it.
When my sister stopped talking to my dad, me and my brother obviously spoke to him.
They got the president of Madison. Well, your wife shouldn't expect it to be cheated. I mean, come on. I mean, why would your wife not expect not to get cheated on by your dad, who is broke and doesn't make any money? Of course. She should stay there and accept it. Of course, all wives know that. Their husband's going to cheat on them. Right, bruh, your sister sounds like she's the smart one out of the bunch of you guys over here.
He said, boys, when you're older, you'll understand. Now I'm older, I understand. Yeah. He fucked a girl, so.
Yeah.
So when you see tweets like this or hear...
So he fucked a girl while married to your mom and was broke. He wasn't bringing in money, so he's not a high-value man, so he wasn't getting them options, but he still went ahead and cheated. There's nothing worse than a broke cheater, dog. Like, why would a woman, props to your mom, bro. She sounds like she got some self-respect, and she seems like she has the ability to endure, because, listen, bro, to stay with dude 5 years after knowing fully well he rejected a pension, then there's going to be some problems. There's going to be some problems right there. But you add the cheating on top of that, of course, any self-respecting woman is walking out the door. You're not going to stand for that shit. And then you got people saying, oh, well, she got to expect to be cheated. I mean, come on. You're a woman. You should know this. So you're going to get cheated on, right? I mean, y'all are sick, bro. All y'all some weirdos.
Stories about how Andrew Tate's daddy was a linguistic genius CIA operative. That is a lie. Told by a 7-year-old boy to his buddies to make his unemployed alcoholic father seem like less of an asshole. The problem is, Andrew still tells the story like it's real. Another lie that little Andy likes to tell about his daddy is that Emery Jr. was a genius grandmaster at chess.
My father was a chess grandmaster. I was on track to become a chess grandmaster. So
he was a legitimate chess grandmaster.
My father was the highest rated black chess player in history.
Really?
Yeah.
It is well documented that while Dad was a renowned chess player, a reported trailblazer for African-American players, having won several tournaments over his lifetime, Tate Jr. never exceeded the rank of International Master, the second tier, with a max FIDE rating of 2413 in 2006, barely cracking the barrier between Master and International Master, and 87 points shy of the Grandmaster rating that his oldest son likes to credit him with.
Yo! This nigga he literally faked it till he made it. All y'all, he was just faking it. All of this shit, it was a lie. Daddy was the best grandmaster. Nope. Daddy was a CIA. He wasn't even in the CIA, bro. Yo, daddy was lying to you. He knew he was a bum, so he made up a story that your dumbass just are still repeating to this day. That's like your daddy basically explaining why he went out to go get milk and then come back for a while. That's essentially what that was. Like, that's crazy. Oh, son, I'm not a deadbeat. The reason I'm gone and I got to train so much because I'm a CIA agent. That's right. I'm a top secret mission. I'm going to go over to this brothel down the street and investigate what's going on here. Hey, bro, this is wild. This is what, bro. You sat here and just fed your audience a whole ass story, and people were believing this guy's dad was actually in the CIA. I have my doubts. But I won't lie. I kind of bought into it too because I was like, maybe it was. I don't know. Right? He said it was in the military, and linguist. I can see a linguist, right? Maybe not, operations or certain things like that, but maybe linguist, yeah. But it turns out, nah, he wasn't even in the CIA. Your daddy was just average, bro. I mean, he definitely played chess better than most average people, but he's not even in grandmaster status. He's not even in international master status, bro. Damn. Like, all you tater tots been lied to and conned by this man so he can just build an image that wasn't even real. That's insane, dude. Shout out Shogun. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. It says, when it comes to the Tates, the apples don't fall too far from the tree. Facts. I am seeing Tate's dad in Andrew and Tristan right now. Like, I mean, look at how Tristan treats the mother of his child. The mother of Tristan Tate's child currently is on OnlyFans and he sells her out. Think about that. While Andrew Tate comes out here and tells you that OnlyFans and porn is wrong, Tristan Tate's baby mama is being whored out right now on OnlyFans, knowing fully well his son or his daughter is going to grow up to see that. He doesn't care. For all he knows, he's just going to demote his baby mama from a 4-bedroom house to a 2-bedroom house because she decides to open her mouth. Like, these guys are just sickos. That's what it is. Like, it definitely don't fall too far from the tree. B2 Cool, shout out to you for the $10 super chat. B2 Cool says, both the Tate daughters are definitely going to have some psychological issues and trauma after all this is said and done, and they're going to become supervillains. Bruh, imagine being Tate's daughter and watching your mom, because she lives with Tristan Tate's kid lives with the mom, right? So imagine watching your mom get naked online for millions of men out there. She got a Twitter, she got a TikTok to do everything. It's all there. It's evidence. We played it right here. She's still active on OnlyFans, yet had the nerve to come out here and shame other men for watching OnlyFans. Meanwhile, you got your whole baby mama up there. You're actually making money off of her doing that. You make it make sense, bro. Imagine being that Tristan Tate's kid watching a mom perform, and your dad is barely there because he's on the internet bragging about how he's pimping your mom. Imagine how it's going to fuck you up. Yet these guys are supposed to be held as some bastion of what conservative values should be. It's a grift. They're all grifters. All right? They're selling out their own wives. They don't give a fuck about their kids. He's just like his own father.
My father was a chess grandmaster.
Again, most likely to swell Andy's own artificial, self-proclaimed intelligence level. Now, as for the other, even more outlandish claim made by Andy about his daddy,
My father was the highest rated black chess player in history.
Really?
Yeah.
Emery Tate was not, in fact, the highest rated black chess player in history. That honor belongs to Jamaican-American Maurice Ashley.
Hey, I believe it. Hey, you ain't even got to tell me anything else here. If somebody told me this nigga, if they told me to look at this picture and say this nigga right here is probably the best chess player out there in the world, I wouldn't even question it, bro. I believe it. Let's say let's talk. Hey, yo. Hey, nah. Hey, chat. Hold up. If somebody showed you a picture of this guy and this guy and said, pick which one is a grandmaster, I'm going with this dude, bro. I don't know. Something about him tells me he knows what he's doing on the chessboard. I don't know what it is, bro. But just look at this picture. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to play him. I wouldn't want to play this fool in chess, bro. He look like he a grandmaster. He look like he'll eat you alive, bro. I wouldn't even mess with this.
Ashley
Look at
was
him.
the first black man to
Look at
achieve
him.
grandmaster in a game of chess.
He looks like an evil Bond villain, bro. Just look how he's got his head in his palm and shit. He look like he plotting the end of existence right now as we speak while playing a chess match. He looks like that guy, bro. You're not messing with this dude. I can't believe Tate tried to compare his daddy to this dude. That's crazy.
Receiving that honor in the year 2000, 15 years prior to Emery Jr.'s death.
Damn.
Maurice Ashley knew of Tate, even played him to a draw in the New York Open in 1993, and wrote about Tate after his death. But Ashley rose to grandmaster in 2000,
Look at him, bro.
and Tate took until 2007 to receive his second-tier international master ranking.
Damn. So dude was already a master at year 2000. It took his daddy 7 years to hit even master level status, not grandmaster level status. Andrew Tate's been lying to his audience, telling that his dad was a grandmaster. Nah, bro. He made master. That was it. He's a master. There's nothing to sneeze at because I can't play chess or shit. So he'll probably whoop my ass in chess. But I'm just saying, bro, why are you trying to inflate your dad's work? Like, just let it stand for itself, bro. He's still a master in chess, just not the grandmaster. That belongs to this guy right here who looks like a Bond villain. And he look like he'll fuck you up with his mind, dog. He look like he could probably got telekinesis, bro. I won't even lie. I feel like if you look at me, I'm going to start levitating. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He look like that nigga, dog. I'm not gonna, bro. This dude could just point his fingers at you and you will start floating. He looks like that guy. Don't play with him. Don't play with him, dog.
None of them named Tate. Pontus Carlson from Sweden, awarded Grandmaster in 2007. Aman Simotawe from Zambia, awarded in 2009.
Look at this.
And Kenny Solomon from South Africa, awarded Grandmaster in 2015. All of these men exceeded Tate's accomplishments in the chess arena during Tate's lifetime. In the same vein, Andy likes to tell the world that he himself was a chess prodigy, winning the Indiana State Championship at the age of 5 with a rating of 1,600. Here's a recent tweet that he deleted and a video to go along with it.
I was state chess champion age 5 in Indiana, the under 16s. I was the youngest to ever win it. I remember I was sitting there across from some 16-year-old. When you're like 5.5, that's scary, right? And I remember when I beat him, he cried. That made me happy. I was like, ha. Not so big now.
At 5 years old,
yeah,
you were the Indiana State chess champion.
In the under 16s, yeah. So I was the youngest to ever win it. So I was on the way to becoming a grandmaster.
That is the story told by little Andy Tate. Wonder how truthful it is.
True?
Well, the U.S. Chess Federation has all the records, so let's see what they say. Here's little Andy's USCF profile, going by Emery Tate III. Says here he had a top regular rating of 896 and a quick rating of 1056, a little shy of the 1600 he was bragging about. This site provides records of every tournament.
Bro, that's like not even close. Yo.
That Andy played in, going back to October of 1992 when Andy was almost 6. In this tournament from 1992, the one he's bragging about, he came in 10th of 10 players with 4 straight losses. His dad won that tournament with 4 straight wins.
Yo, Andrew, bruh, you lying about you lost 4 straight matches in a row. Listen, don't get me wrong. Playing chess as a 5-year-old, I was eating carpet. So we were 2 different. Okay, I'm just saying, dog. Why you have to lie about this? Like, what I mean, like, why? So many lies, bro. Like, why? To make yourself seem better than the guys you're trying to induct into your cult. I mean, what is this, bro? You lost 4 straight matches and you came in 16th place. That's not listen. If you're talking about being on your way to grandmaster status, that's not even close. All right, you're not even close to the other dude we saw. He looked like he could do some work, bro. It's crazy. CJ Kennedy, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Says, what a pathological liar, like father, like son. Facts. Everything he's saying and he has been saying has been a lie up until this point. It's all been lying. Andrew Tate is the definition of fake it till you make it. That's what it's telling me right now. He faked all of this shit. Grandmaster, dad being the CIA. His dad was a sergeant that got demoted to a janitor. How the fuck does that work? I mean, they're like at least 3 or 4 different ranks before you get to a sergeant, right? So you went from sergeant, went past all the other ranks, janitor. Never been in the CIA, wasn't even a chess grandmaster. How many more lies can we uncover? Let's continue.
Maybe Andy meant this tournament that happened a couple weeks later. No, he came in 13th of 15 with 4 losses and a bye into the second round.
Another 4 losses.
His dad won that tournament as well with 5 straight wins. Those are the only 2 tournaments that he entered in 1992. Also, this tournament that his dad won didn't have a 16 and under category. None of them do. The state championship.
Bro, you lied about the category you were supposed to play chess in. So even the 16 and under category didn't even exist. I'm glad there are people out there doing research because the lies are getting worse. It's getting bad. So there were no 16 or under. You didn't win. You lost 4 times in a row on both matches. You weren't even close to scoring the 12, whatever you were talking about. You were like 860. It was all lies. Why? And listen, even just doing what you were doing as a kid, like this right here, is still an accomplishment because how many kids at 5 years old were going to chess competitions, right? So you didn't have to lie about this. This is something you could just say, hey, listen, I was competing in chess when I was 5 and leave it at that, right? Because most kids nowadays are not doing that, right? They're all, social media and all that stupid shit, right? TikToks and whatnot. You actually were doing shit when you were younger. Why exaggerate? Why lie? Your dad was never in the CIA. I mean, he was a sergeant. You could have just said that and left it. But now people dig further and they realize everything you've been embellishing were all lies. You're just making it up to sound cool. I told you, bro. There were things that this guy was saying that, listen, bro, it seems like he's just trying to sound cool for the cool kids or trying to be cool amongst the cool kids. I mean, it's just, oh, God.
Tournaments especially are divided into grade levels so that children are playing other children close to their own age. He played 2 tournaments in 1993. In May, he came in dead last with 3 losses and a draw. Again, Daddy won that tournament. In October of 93, he placed 19th in a field of 22, scoring 2 points off of 2 wins in 5 games.
I mean, you were 3rd from last, so that's not at least last place like the last one, but still, damn. Damn.
Andrew Tate's records end in 1997 with a total of 20 events on his profile. The last event he played was in May of 1997, giving him an end rating of 896. Earlier that year, he played the Indiana State Championships in the 6 and under category in April, placing 76 in a field of 144 players, so didn't break the top half. 64 players state tournament in January of 1997, where he placed 21st in the 6th grade and under. January 1996, in the state 3rd grade and under championship field of 64, he came in 21st again. In January of 1995, same tournament level, 3rd and under, same finish, 21st in a field of 65.
Hey, bro, you're not on your way to no grandmaster. Them not grandmaster numbers right there, bro. You're not putting up grandmaster numbers, bro. I don't know what kind of department that belongs in, but you're not even close to being a grandmaster, bro. Why you lying? Why you lying, dog? Why you gotta lie, dog?
In all the other registered tournaments he played between 1992 and 1997, Tate never took a top place finish, ever. His best finishes were 3rd of 5 in his 2nd grade school tournament and 5th of 39 in the reserve category of the Elkhart County Scholastic, which added 59 points towards his rating. But in most cases, Emery Tate III finished middle of the pack, if not tied for bottom position.
Nigga, you average, bottom G.
So let's hear him tell that story again.
State chess champion age 5 in Indiana, the under 16s. Was the youngest to ever win it. So I was on the way to becoming a grandmaster.
Now, going through all of this elementary school stuff might seem petty to you, nitpicking, but you have to ask yourself this question. If Andrew Tate needs to lie about his childhood prowess while playing a board game to impress people, what else do you think he's willing to lie about to make himself seem far better than he is?
Facts.
As for his claims of being the smartest person on the planet, yes, that is a claim he often makes.
I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet.
His academic career is not at all impressive. The majority of Tate's schooling was done in the UK. His grand educational accomplishment is the UK equivalent of an American high school diploma.
Nigga, what? Come on, dog. You gotta be playing with me with this, dog. Come on, dude.
And he never attended post-secondary classes.
Oh my
he holds
God,
no diplomas or degrees in any discipline, although he was reportedly accepted into the Free Union ASCO. Tate didn't bother writing the personal statement that was required for admission, so he became ineligible to attend. Instead, he pursued a kickboxing career that would eventually give Tate a little bit of money and prestige. Tate proudly announces that he is a 4-time international...
Okay, this right here we got to dive into because this is the backbone of a lot of the Tater Tots little perception of Andrew Tate, right? Because I've been in the ring and guys like this, listen, I'm not a kickboxer, so he'll probably get me a kickboxer and whatnot. But he doesn't, bro, the way he throws his jabs, he doesn't know how to jab, bro. And I've talked it up to like maybe kickboxing, you got to worry about kicking, maybe your jabs ain't going to be all that, whatnot. But I always had a question about his 4-time world champion kickboxing thing. Let's see if Common Sense Skeptic can debunk all that, because this guy debunks Elon Musk for a living. So I mean, he wasn't wrong there. There's a lot of shit with Elon that's a problem right now. And we know Elon is not the genius he pretends to be. All right, Elon fraud. And it makes sense why Elon and Andrew Tate are in the same category with this guy. It makes sense. I'm like, why would Common Sense Skeptic cover Andrew Tate since he covers Elon? But it's like, yeah, Elon does support a guy like Andrew Tate. And Elon's supposed to be a genius. Come to find out, he stole a lot of the shit he claims to invent, which, kind of makes him a modern day Thomas Edison, if you really think about it, not Tesla, the company he pretends to be.
National kickboxing champion. That is his first and only somewhat legitimate claim to fame. But as with everything else Tate related, even the stats of his kickboxing career are suspect. For example, if you go to Tate's Wikipedia page, you'll see in the right-hand column a kick of 76 wins, 23 by knockout, and 9 losses. Below that, he has a very average MMA record of 2-1 from fights in 2007 and 2010. So when people describe Tate as an international MMA champion, that is completely false. If you scroll down on that page, you can see a list of the recorded fights that Tate had. There are 31 fights listed here, not 85. There are 8 KOs, not 23, and there are 8 losses, not 9. And although the platform states the list is incomplete, where are those other fights? Who is in charge of the bookkeeping at ISKA that somehow misplaced the result of 54 Andrew Tate fights? The U.S. Chess Federation has the state records from when Tate was 5 years old. So what gives? Either the list is incomplete, missing about 2/3 of the information, or, more likely, a lot of those fights are imaginary, just like Tate's chess state championship title. Henry Cejudo had some thoughts on Tate's record after breaking down some of Tate's performances.
And today we're going to be breaking down the one and only Andrew Tate. Going up against Miralem Atmati, 2020. But look at Miralem's record, guys. 3 wins, 2 losses, 24. This is what kickboxing typically tend to do. They typically do what they do is they pad your record like you wouldn't believe. I mean, for this guy to have more than 80 fights, I mean, this is 2020. Yeah.
Yo!
He was 70.
Wait a minute. This was only 3 years ago, my nigga. You mean you were 33 years old at this time, fighting a 24-year-old? Oh, what the fuck is this? I mean, of course you're the fucking journeyman, bro. I mean, the guy didn't even he was ready to fight. These are your opponents? Oh, hell no, dog. This is the Matrix right here. My whole life has been a lie. This is insane, bro. My dude out here fighting rookies. Actually, it says it right here. You were 33 years old. You're fighting rookies, bro. Talking about you a champion. You beating up babies. You're the first round debut, dog. Like, this is insane. Wow.
So I don't know when is it that he retired, but you shouldn't be fighting a guy that's 3-2 or 2-3.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Look at this guy's not ready.
Against Kazmin Lingar.
He's 19 years old. My boy's fighting kids. My boy is a grown man beating up kids and then winning a championship belt for it. Why he's bragging in your face? Look at he's fighting a 19-year-old, and this is his debut fight, meaning he's not have a professional fight at all, and yet they're serving him up to a guy like Andrew Tate who has 75 fights on record. Yeah, bro, you cannon father. I don't think this kid realizes the only reason why he's there is for Andrew Tate to beat up on him. Like, this is crazy, bro.
For a guy who's 76-9, I mean, he's going up against a guy that is making his debut. This is what I'm saying, man. This is where you fans, you people that follow guys that you guys think are good fighters. This dude's making his damn debut.
He's against a guy that has. He's going up against Tate. Yo, hey, what? Yo, he not even. So Tate not even fighting real people. He fighting babies, bro. That's what it is. Wow. What? Yeah, I'm actually shocked, bro. I'm actually shocked. No wonder he's out here putting videos fighting YouTubers and YouTube fans. No, it makes sense why he puts up videos fighting people in his war room, because he know he can beat y'all up. Y'all no different from Cosman over here, who's making his debut fight. This is crazy, bro. M. Dot, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. M. Dot says, the saying is, the eyes are the windows to the soul. Explain why he wears shades during interviews. Makes it easier to lie about his childhood and career. Facts. Nah, yeah. You know what makes, and when he's not wearing eyeglasses, he doesn't know how to make eye contact. So it just goes to show you that guys like that, they can't look you in the eye. They're not telling you the truth, and there's something they're not telling you, bro. No, that's epic facts.
Has over 80 fights, which is ridiculous. In other words, this is what you call a tomato can. I mean, he seems like a pretty smart dude, but he also has a padded record. So you can have 80 fights and fight 80 different scrubs. You put a guy like with Andrew Tate with Jake Paul, I think Jake Paul gets it done fairly quickly.
And I saw that interview. Too, where Jake Paul comes up. I think it was Jake Paul, Aiden, and they were talking about it. And Jake Paul was like, "Hey, I'll fight you, Andrew. I'll come up and do it, right?" Because because Andrew Tate was challenging his brother to a fight back when Logan and whatnot, he needed the clout for it, right? And now, when Jake Paul said, "Yeah, I'll fight you," Andrew Tate didn't want. It seemed like he went the opposite way. He was like, "Well, I don't want to do it professionally because I got the house arrest situation, but I'll spar with you. We'll do it behind closed doors." It's like, wait a minute, you're a world champion kickboxer, right? Why are you afraid of Logan Paul? Logan Paul can't even fight real fighters. Logan Paul, I mean, who look at the last real fighter Logan Paul did, right? That was old boy's brother. Who was the guy? I forgot his name. I don't really like him like that. Fury, the little one. Fury Jr., the little brother, right? He got his ass whooped. And Fury's like the Tyson, not Tyson. What's his name? I forgot what it is. Because somebody let me know what it is. Tommy Fury, right? I think it's Tommy, right? When Jake Paul fought Tommy's a middle of the road boxer. He's not up to his brother Tyson. He's not up to that level, but he's a middle of the road boxer, and he beat the fuck out of Jake Paul. And this guy is saying Jake Paul can whoop Andrew Tate. That got to tell y'all something. Andrew Tate's a poser.
Over here, check out the screenshots of those two fights from 2020. Notice anything unusual about Andrew's stats? When he was fighting the guy that was 3-2, Tate's record on the screen was 40-7. 10 months later, when he was fighting the tomato can, his last fight on record, by the way, Tate's record had somehow jumped to 75-9.
Oh, nah, bro. This dude going to Mexico, probably fighting and beating up some kids over there. He padding his record, dog. This is a scumbag thing to do, bro. Because you're just lying. That's not even a real record.
So his true record is anybody's guess. Regardless of his actual record, Tate's ability in the ring as a strict counter-striker was not strong enough to impress Arthur from the channel YouTube Boxing. We'll let him explain why.
Andrew Tate does have kickboxing skills. He's fast for his weight and has good reflexes, but he lacks kickboxing basics.
Chat, I was watching this. I'm like, his jabs are weird, bro. Like, you could almost, it's like he telegraphs it. Like, if I was in the ring with him, I could tell, like, what kind of punch he's going to throw, right? And I'm as rookie as you can get. I would prefer just beating up dudes in the gym versus, like, going crazy with competitions and whatnot. But I'm just saying, if I was sparring against someone like that, I would tell when he's going to throw a punch, right? Which is crazy because watch this. Well, I've seen, this is not his only fights, by the way. He's got a bunch of other videos, and I watch them. I'm like, this dude is sloppy when he throws punches, dog. Look at this.
Basics. He's flex does have kickboxing skills. He's fast for his weight and has good reflexes, but he lacks kickboxing basics. He's not a championship caliber fighter. Tate is a tough mid-tier fighter. If he really was a world-class fighter, he would have been willingly invited to compete.
He's not even covering up, bro, and he's moving too slow. Nah, bro.
In K1 or Glory. Because Andrew's peak came at a time when both leagues existed. Andrew himself said that in this world, you need to earn everything. Things find their value if they are difficult to achieve. Unfortunately for him, he did not achieve the title of a real-world champion in kickboxing.
Andrew Tate guy, if you were wondering, is he legit or is he just, so-so? He's so-so. Any kickboxer who's half decent at his weight class within Glory or 1FC, any of those guys are going to annihilate him.
Arthur, the narrator, also describes ISKA, the International Sport Karate Association that became the International Sport Kickboxing Association, the organization through which Tate won his titles.
ISKA is one of the international bodies regulating sport karate and kickboxing matches. The pool of athletes competing in this very narrow fighting style is nowhere near that of boxing or kickboxing. These types of kickboxers typically do not do well in MMA. These tournaments are rather semi-professional for those who could not get into the major leagues. To make it clearer, being an ISKA champion is like in MMA being a Bellator or 1FC champion. In the world of MMA, there is only one title that matters, and that is the UFC belt.
So Tate's prowess in the ring against a very narrow field of competitors is largely overstated, but his earnings in that sport certainly are not.
Bruh, so you weren't even in a real league. You out here bragging, talking about you a champion, bro. These niggas do karate. They not even real kickboxers, dog. Yo, like, I feel like my whole world is a lie, dog. This nigga's just been lying so much through his teeth. Like, you not even in a real league, bro. Look at this. Who's this nigga back here? Who's this fat ass dude back here? You fighting him too? You fighting him? My God, dog. Like, this is crazy. My boy wasn't even a real league.
The best purse Tate collected for any of his efforts in kickboxing came in about 100 grand. Compare that to the Conor McGregor-Floyd Mayweather boxing match, where McGregor got paid $30 million even though he lost the fight. Mayweather, on the other hand, was guaranteed $100 million for the same fight.
Hey, they don't call him Money Mayweather for no reason, man. Like, listen, that's a fight I'll take. I'm gonna get my ass whooped by both of them. Like, real talk. Like McGregor or Mayweather. But like, either way, 30 million if you lose. Oh, I'm taking that fight all day, bro. And McGregor lost. We saw the end fight. Like, hey, listen, for as much as people hate Floyd because they don't really like his fighting style and whatnot, it's successful, right? I would have to admit, I was a Floyd hater for a while, but then I had to realize that, like, this guy is actually, if you want to talk about a precision striker, all right, that's Floyd Money Mayweather, but you can't get any more precise than that. This guy, he deserves his legendary status. And I've actually came around, okay? Most people were like, even some of my buddies, they still don't like him. I don't know why. Like, y'all got to, at least, listen, if you're watching this, admit that Money Mayweather, he's in GOAT status, bro. You can't deny that. He's a GOAT. I know you hate his style, but he's a GOAT. He still made off with $100 million. Bro, come on. Boxing, kickboxing, they don't even compare.
Or lose, and that was in 2017 dollars. Safe to say, although Andrew Tate was competing at this same time, he did not, and likely could not, compete at their level. Tate effectively retired from kickboxing in 2017, citing the multiple surgeries he had on his weak eyes to reconnect his retinas. We'd also add his glass jaw that dropped him like a stone anytime a competitor landed one on his button.
I didn't see this. Where'd they find this clip at? Damn. See, I told you, he leave himself too open. He's too open, bro. Like, wow, the way he throws his jabs and whatnot, he's just like, why you swinging that, bro? Like, keep it here, like straight out, like that. Just keep it here, straight out. Why you? What's all that? He's making it,
and likely could not compete at their level.
Look at this.
Tate effectively retired from kickboxing in 2017, citing the multiple surgeries he had on his weak eyes to reconnect his retinas. We'd also add his glass jaw that dropped him like a stone anytime a competitor landed one on his button. Through his minor celebrity in kickboxing, Andrew Tate was invited to participate in 2 reality TV shows, Ultimate Traveler in 2009 and Big Brother Season 17 in 2016. In both cases, Tate was gone within a couple of weeks. In Ultimate Traveler, after making an ass of himself, lying to and deceiving his own teammates, he caught an eye infection and was sent home. His Big Brother stint didn't go so well either. He lasted 7 days on the program, before a video of him whipping a woman was leaked to producers, forcing them to give him the boot.
Covered this one.
Shortly afterwards, this unnamed woman came forward and declared she was the woman in the video and that the act was consensual.
Hello everyone, I just wanted to say something about the video that's been released recently about me and my ex-boyfriend Andrew Tate. Andrew is my still great friend. What you guys saw in the video, it's just what we used to do. It was just pure game. He's a great guy. He would never hurt anyone.
Although Andy did his best to...
Yo, she's the same girl who's coming out now because she's still with Tate. All right? Matter of fact, that's the girl who he got with while she was 15. All right? That's her. That's Vivian right there. All right? She's the same girl that is coming out now saying that she was in traffic. She's amongst one of the videos that are out there talking about, yeah, you know, Tate's innocent and whatnot. It's like, huh? Girl, like, what's wrong with you? Every single time a boy ends up in a controversy, you're always right there backing them up, even though some of it involved you. Matter of fact, they both involved you. You were in that video with getting whipped by the belt, all right? And you were also part of the whole indictment while, what do you call it, that Tate's getting for trafficking a minor. They're referring to you. So you just coming out being at the centerpiece of all this. Why should people even take what you say seriously? Like, I don't know. Wake up. I don't know.
To portray himself as a baddie on both of the reality TV appearances.
So I know I'm the most intelligent person in this house. I know I'm the most capable person in this house. Fact.
Thinks he's fucking smart. He's not that smart. He's a sneaky little shit. Got his number. That fucker is a sly little fuck. The idea of staying here for 2-3 days ain't appealing.
It was this video that gave the public the first insider's view of what happens when his real bedroom doors are closed. The first light to penetrate the veil, as it were. And whether or not the act was consensual, although everybody has their kinks, the very kindest light you could shine on this video is that Andrew Tate gets sexual gratification from causing the physical pain of other people. In this particular video, the woman says she was a willing participant. But in this video, the woman was obviously not a willing participant.
We played this video too. YouTube took it down because obviously it gets graphic. So I don't know if they're going to take this video because his video's up. So they probably shouldn't. But yeah, it gets bad, bro.
You have a belt because you're a jerk. Show me the bruises. 1, 2, 3. Oh, baby. Oh, poor thing. I have an idea. Some ideas? You want my ideas? That's right, lock the door, you. You knew I was going to beat the out of you. Have you been...
Can somebody who understands BDSM let me know what part of BDSM this is? I mean, is this the secret language to get started? Like, can somebody let me know? Because the tater tots seem to tell me that this is BDSM, but you let me know. Those of y'all who are familiar with BDSM, I don't know. I don't live that lifestyle. It's not me. I don't like to beat up people in the bedroom, bro. That's not me, dog. All right, I'm not into the fucking whips and the chains and the maybe handcuffs if I'm feeling a little frisky. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not with the whips and whatnot. Causing marks and whatnot. That's just not me. All right, but y'all let me know if this is how a girl is supposed to. Is this a normal reaction from your BDSM partner to quickly run into the bathroom and lock the door the moment you grab a belt? Is that what's supposed to happen? I thought that y'all were supposed to be getting engaged, right? So why is she running and locking the bathroom door if it was BDSM? Is that how you get the party started? I don't know. Again, I don't live that lifestyle, so y'all can let me know. But to me, like the average guy out here, that looks like she's scared. It looks like she experienced what happened before, and she doesn't want to go through that experience. Hence the locked door. All right, I don't know, but y'all who've experienced BDSM, let me know if this is part of it. I don't know.
But hey, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
So, on camera, we have Tate admitting he bruised her with a belt, then threatened to beat the out of her after she locked herself in the bathroom. What a man's man. To take it one step further, here's an audio recording of Andrew Tate describing exactly how he strangled this particular unwilling victim during sex.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turn me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to you. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
Such a man. Even went the victim blaming route on that one.
Whoa,
because that's how a top.
I didn't know they have voice memos like that. Like, yo, what the fuck? Yo. Yo, wow, bro. That's first of all, that's cringe, bro. Like you're enjoying having her when she's not enjoying it. That's fucking weird, dude. That's fucking weird.
G handles ungrateful bitches that don't like being choked while they're being raped. The lady in the first video, the one publicly exonerating Tate, will be making another appearance in part 2. So we're going to put a pin in her for now. But suffice it to say, she played a major role in the violence other women suffered at the hands of Andrew Tate, who seems to have no problem committing violence against women, whether it is consensual or not.
I got up and looked at him and went, "What's wrong?" She said. This guy literally laid there and went, "I'm just debating whether I should rape you or not." And started strangling me, forcing my trousers off me. I was trying to keep them on and he started screaming at me, "Take the effing trousers off, bitch." Tate then raped her, Amelia said. As he did, she said, he continued to choke her, saying things like, "Who do you belong to?" Even as she was unable to physically speak due to his hands constricting her throat. He's like, "Effing say it, bitch. You're not effing saying my name. Say my effing name. Otherwise, I'll kill you."
Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex.
Once the veil on Andrew Tate was pierced, following his Big Brother exit in disgrace, more and more Tate-related material flooded social media domains. Much of it, material Tate himself was responsible for, as he began making an infamous name for himself through his burgeoning social media empire. When we come back, we're going to take you through as much of that eye-opening material as we can, covering interviews, articles, his own statements, and his self-help courses.
Bro, I can't wait for part 2. I can't wait. We're going to have to cover part 2 on a different day. But, like, part 2's coming. We got to cover part 2 because this is wild, bro. See, common sense skeptic, the fact that he's focusing on Tate right now, that's a problem. That's a problem because dude is pulling receipts that I didn't even know. Like, bro, your chest, your daddy CIA, he got demoted from a sergeant to a janitor. Like, all of these lies. Like, damn, bro. And imagine the people that Andrew Tate interviewed on his way to the top. Imagine if they stood up and instead of clout, right, they just decided to tell the truth. Imagine where men would be right now if the people y'all look up to for media, as media personalities that tell the truth, right, quote unquote, they're not even being honest about the guy they're putting forward. No one is doing their research about this guy. They just allowed him to come up here and lie his way through, and y'all bought it hook, line, sinker. So much so he was one of the most Google search person for a while. All right, and now that's over with. It's like y'all did that. Like, it's crazy how disenfranchised men. You know, you give them enough rope, and then they'll start telling you all the different reasons why traffickers are cool. And to be honest with you, it's getting tough at this point, bro. Like, you can't, like, how do y'all keep defending this stuff? Like, it's indefensible. Like, you can't defend this shit. Like, listen, like, I don't know, the whole Emma situation, that's not even the same thing, right? Yeah, she lied and she's got some bullshit going on, but that's not what Tate's trying to do. You guys forget he has a whole propagandist element that has their entire job that does nothing else but promote Tate-related propaganda to convince you guys that he's innocent. Meanwhile, he knows full well he's going to prison. Like, this is crazy. At this point, like, you got to ask the question, why is he focused so much on the media? And while he's focused on the media, why isn't he talking about the evidence and refuting a lot of these screenshots, right? He hasn't. He's either dismissed them as things that aren't evidence, or like his followers try to do that, but he never addresses them wholeheartedly. He never addresses any of the evidence the prosecutors or Dicot has dropped, right? He just says that the people are after him, right? He talks about some company offer him $60 million to sell his soul, yet he's provided not one screenshot of the Matrix trying to get him to sell his soul. Like, y'all got to start asking questions. B2 goes out to you for the $5 super chat. B2 says, hey, what if Tate was like, I got to go call out this Duke fella that has been hating on me since day one and challenge him to a boxing match? Yes. Hell yeah. Let's make it happen, dog. Drop the Addy, bro. Let's go. Drop the fucking Addy, bro. Like, let's go. Like, bro, are you kidding me? The Wing Chun dude, like, come on, dog. Listen. I'm not even going to be aiming for his face, bro. With someone like that, you want to punish his gut. Like, that's what I want to do, bro. Like, all them gut throws I'm going to be hitting him with, dog. I want to take his breath out of his body, literally, bro. Like, that's just it. So, like, and the thing is, how tall is Andrew Tate? Because I'm 5'10", so he's probably a little taller than me. So I don't know. He has reach, but I got a 6'1" arm span. So even for my height, like my arm span is longer than my meat. So it's crazy. Like, so I got reach at my height. So like people who are like 5'10" and below, I will beat you up because I got reach and power. It's crazy, right? If you're taller, that's a different story. All right, I just got to get in close. But I think Andrew Tate is taller, so it'd be just yes, yes, bro. You're not gonna hit this, bro. What you talking about? But Chad, I appreciate y'all being here. What do you think about what we played today, bro? What do you think about Andrew Tate's live, right? And all the lies that he's been telling to his Tater Tots. Put a 1 in the chat if you actually believe that this dude has been capping and he did a fake it till you make it strategy, or you put a 2 in the chat if you actually believe that everything he still has been saying, including his chess records, boxing records, and all that, even after the evidence was seen, if you think he's still telling the truth. Guys, I will catch you on the next episode. Peace, bro. Jesus.